Way through the week. Yes, we can do this. It's all downhill. Thank you so much for tuning in. I promise you, you have made the right choice this morning. Thank you for coming back after our karaoke yesterday. I thought that was the end of the show. I thought it was done.
Were you scared you maybe scared some people away?
We did. I have no doubt that we absolutely did, but there was a little bit of entertainment value there. Lots of fun yesterday. We're going to do it all over again today. Sashali Davids is here to properly entertain us, and she will blow your socks off, I can guarantee you. Chef Clem is going to be
Lockdown may have kept us apart physically, but Afternoon Express is here to ensure that we stay connected from the safety of your own home. From the biggest personalities, most talented musicians, and informed experts, we've still got it all.
So we'll be serving you inspiration every day.
And we're going to make sure that your meals are the talk of the town.
Stay tuned for
So join me, Vanessa Dembe, every weekday at 5 p.m. only on SABC3, where the stage is yours.
Ahead of the extended break before schools go back.
Yeah, man, we've got your survival guide to make it through lockdown. If you've run out of activities, you can no longer make Play-Doh, whatever it is, we got you covered this morning. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're also going to appreciate the beautiful women in our lives right now. Another beautiful woman and another... Oh, he's beautiful as well. He's beautiful as well. Morning, guys.
Good morning to you, Team Olweni, Naguni, South Africa, and Diatemba, namhlanje nivuke, ni right, ni ready, ni relevant. Igama lam Guguhle Adams, but we're never riding solo here on the Expresso stage. We have the so cool. I think you're so cool and so hilarious, Carl.
Thank you. Look at this, right? Trying to make me blush so early in the morning. It's wow. Thank you. And I also think those two, when they're so matchy, you know, when Graham and Zoe match, there's something great. I thought it was like 50 Shades of Beige, which is really great there. So it's a lovely thing to see, but it's so good to see you. And of course, you know, it's Woman Crush Wednesday.
Yes.
And not only is, you know, Kutle, you're on my list of Woman Crush Wednesdays, but we also have Shonisani and Masutha who will be joining us. And I think that this is going to be one of the most amazing things. So we have a game with Shonisani later, but before we get there, that's actually what you want to ask you on social media.
Yeah, boy, yes. Shonisani is our Woman Crush Wednesday for many reasons. She's an actress, she's a businesswoman, she has her own line of braids extensions, and if you know me, I absolutely love all sorts of braids. So she's going to be joining us to chat more about what's happening with her career and also her new business venture on the show. And as Carl mentioned, we're going to be playing a really fun game with her, one of her favorite games, so you need to stick around to see which one. But for right now, though, let's get the formalities out of the way. Starting off with the news headlines, here's G.
Starting with your national headlines, Health Minister Zweli Mkhize is calling for a continued ban on the sale of alcohol. Mkhize said that the ban was reducing pressure on the healthcare system as it was decreasing trauma cases linked to car accidents and alcohol-induced brawls. Meanwhile, various stakeholders in the liquor industry are calling for the resumption of alcohol sales, saying that this would assist in keeping their businesses afloat after only trading for 3 months last year. And staying with local news, Western Cape Premier Alan Winde says his office has compiled a new document for the National COVID-19 Command Council in which he requests the restrictions be changed in the province. Winde says there has been a significant decrease in new cases, in hospital admissions and the use of oxygen in the treatment of patients. The pandemic of poverty and hunger now needs attention, and beaches need to be reopened so the economy can start recovering. Moreover, he requests that the curfew rule be amended and the ban on liquor sales adjusted. We now move beyond our own borders, where the United Nations said yesterday that $76 million was urgently needed to help over 1 million people in southern Madagascar who face potentially life-threatening shortages of food, water and health assistance. The UN issued its so-called flash appeal after the impoverished island country in eastern Africa saw its agricultural season ruined by the worst drought in a decade. At the same time, the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown implemented to halt the spread of the virus have amplified the effects from the drought. And the Kremlin yesterday dismissed Western demands to release Russia's most prominent opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, saying his calls for mass protests over his arrest were troubling. Legal pressures ramping up against President Vladimir Putin's best-known domestic critic, who is due in court on defamation charges today. Navalny, 44, was arrested on Sunday as he returned to Russia from Germany for the first time since he had recovered from near-fatal poisoning with a Soviet-designed nerve agent in August. And now, news of today's inauguration ceremony of the 46th U.S. president. The eyes of the entire world will be on Washington, D.C. later today for the official changing of the guard in what is said to be the greatest democracy on earth when Joe Biden takes over the reins of United States president from Donald Trump. Mega stars from the world of entertainment will be on hand to add luster to the occasion. Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez are to perform at the inauguration ceremony. Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem and Lopez will give a separate musical performance. After the ceremony, Tom Hanks will host a star-studded televised special titled Celebrating America, the 90-minute primetime program. Will also feature U.S. musicians John Bon Jovi, Demi Lovato, Justin Timberlake and Ant Clemens. When Donald Trump was sworn in 4 years ago, 16-year-old American Idol contestant Jackie Evancho sang the national anthem. Barack Obama called on Beyonce to deliver the anthem when he saw his second term. And 4 years earlier, the Star-Spangled Banner was performed by the U.S. Navy band Sea Chanters, and Aretha Franklin sang My Country, 'Tis of Thee. Well, that's why I leave your morning headlines. We'll touch again on those at 7 o'clock, but for now, let's take a first look at your sport with Graham.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Let's kick it off with cricket news, and great news for one particular Protea player putting paid to his role as a senior member of the squad. Cricket South Africa yesterday announced that batsman and wicketkeeper Heinrich Klaasen will captain the Proteas in their three-match T20 international series. That's in Pakistan next month. The three matches will all be played in Lahore on the 11th, 13th and 14th of February. South Africa will start their test match series against host Pakistan on Tuesday, the 26th of January, a momentous tour at that. Then on to football. Premier Soccer League footballing action continued last night with defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns still unable to get the win. They drew 1-1 with Bloem Celtic at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. The Brazilians remaining at the top of the log though, but they have just 1 point above second place Swallows FC are in action today. Then in other results, Kaizer Chiefs looking good, beat Chakuma Cha Mazivandila 3-0 at the FNB Stadium in Soweto. This was a third straight win for the Amakosi in the PSL this season. And there'll be 6 Premier Soccer League matches to sink your teeth into tonight, kick-starting at 5 p.m. And then showing just how unpredictable it is at the top of the table in the Premier League, Leicester City beat Chelsea 2-0 at the King Power Stadium to top the English Premier League standings now. Goals by Wilfred Ndidi and James Maddison securing the win for the Foxes. In other results, a goal by Miguel Antonio helped West Ham United to a 2-1 home win over West Brom at the London Stadium last night. And then looking at tonight's fixtures, third-placed Man City on the charge, undoubtedly with that game in hand, faced Aston Villa at 8 p.m. and then Manchester United, who now sit second on the table, will have the opportunity to go top again when they take on Fulham at 10:15 tonight. More on those on the top of the hour. Right now, let's take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise vistas and our first take on the weather.
Thanks a lot, Graham. We asked you to send in your sunrise photos. I love these, and you have pulled through. And thank you to Anthea Kruger for sharing this picturesque image of the mountains in Worcester. It's going to be a very, very hot day over there, hitting a max of 36 degrees, just to let you know. So make sure you remember to wear the SPF if you are going to be outside. And Verity Barnes, Herbert, good morning. Got creative, showing us a part of the world in Riebeek West. It is going to be a scorcher in your area, hitting a high of 38 degrees with plenty of sunshine. Caution is advised if you are spending extended periods of time outside. inside. And if you would like to be part of our sunrise contributions, please do so. Go to the Expresso Facebook page to share a picture of your part of the country. It's not often that I give you political climate, but why not? Joe Biden will be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States on the west front of the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C., alongside Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. That'll be at 7 p.m. SA time today. And AccuWeather forecasters say this historical day will be fantastic. The weather's going to be good, and this considering the ceremony is being held outdoors in the middle of January in the Northern Hemisphere. President Biden's term begins officially at noon, and dry conditions are likely to remain in place, while the mercury will show a reading of 4 degrees Celsius, with a brisk wind contributing to temperatures near freezing. The normal high temperature for January 20 in the DC area is 4.5 degrees Celsius, so actual air temperatures will be very close to normal levels for today's event, so nothing can trump that particular inauguration. Moving along very swiftly, let's go over to Polokwane. You're a low of 19 to a high of 30 today. Bombela, a high of 30 for you from a low of 18. Pretoria, 16, use your low to a high of 32. Joburg, Goeiemorgen. It's 30 for you, 15 this morning. Mahikeng, a high of 33 today from a quite high low of 20. Klerksdorp, 18 to 33. Kimberley, 22 to 34. Shine bright like a diamond there. Bloemfontein, 31 degrees your high from a low of 18. And a 40% chance of thunder showers, just to let you know. Richards Bay, a high of 27 with a 69% chance of rain in your area. Pietermaritzburg, you are a high of 26 from a low of 17. Durban, 22 to 27 that's for you. And then, of course, Mthatha, 23 your high in the area, 15 the low this morning. East London, 19 to 23. Craddock, 14 to 32. Port Elizabeth, you are 24. That's your high this afternoon from a low of 18 this morning. 15 to 23 in George. Cape Town, the mother city, a low of 17. And very, very sunny conditions to a high of 28. Weather's a bit woest and woester. Of course, 36 degrees your high from a low of 15. Sutherland, 15 to 31. And temperatures going up in Uppington, 22 to a high of 38 degrees. So if you're on that area, make sure you hydrate and get the sunscreen on. And do continue to send in the sunrise pictures. If you don't mind, go to the Expresso Facebook page and post away.
Oh, bye, Donkey Wasty. Well, you know what? One thing we love celebrating on the show is your birthdays. So from doing our daily birthday shout-outs, we thought we're going to change things up for 2021. And we're going to do one big celebration and shout-out every single Friday.
And listen, it's going to be so exciting. It's very simple. All we want is for you to show us your birthday dance. I'm sure when you wake up in the morning, you just turn up because it's going to be a blessed and beautiful day. And that's exactly what we want to see on the show. Simply take a video of yourself or your loved one or whoever you want to wish a happy birthday and send us on WhatsApp, on our WhatsApp line, and we will show it live right here on the show. And you actually stand a chance to win a 500 rands online voucher. Wouldn't you dance for your birthday?
Of course, and I mean, what a nice gift to receive, especially if it is your birthday. So make sure you send through those requests. And to give you a little bit of a teaser, quickly, are you keen to do a little bit of a birthday shake?
There are so many in my head right now, but you know what? I get a little excited, so I go. Do you want to join me?
I'll join. Maybe I should sing for you.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay,
that's
I'll
fair.
sing.
You can sing, okay?
Hey, shorty, it's your birthday.
Hey.
We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Hey, shorty, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like that's the only words I know of that song.
I loved it.
Don't make me
that
sing
was
for your birthday. Get those birthday dance moves in because we are celebrating this Friday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You're just in time because we're about to spend some time in the kitchen with the one and only Clem Pedro. Now, I have a very fun fact for you. Peanut butter is one of the most underrated yet versatile products you have in your pantry. And just to prove our point, we are bringing you a deliciously chewy peanut butter snack bar. It's something you can add for your lunchbox. It's something you can add for a little snack around the desk or even for breakfast, because peanut butter deserves a prize for versatility this morning for you to get munching. And the man that's going to show us this delicious recipe is right next to me. Chef Clem, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I am good. You know what? Peanut butter just gets me energized.
Literally, and like, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I am obsessed with peanut butter milkshakes, peanut butter ice cream, peanut butter shortbread cookies, this.
This is what we're making.
Yeah, and it's so honestly easy to make. And I feel like if you start your day off with your best foot forward, you're in a very good place, and you're like 80% of the way to having the best day ever.
And can I tell you, there's something about peanut butter, I don't feel like people need to be intimidated with it, because for some reason people think peanut butter is an unhealthy thing to have in your house, but it's not. You get sugar-free options. There are various different nut butters you get, but of course our hero ingredient today is this particular peanut butter.
And this particular one is my favorite. It's a sugar-free, salt-free one. And in a few weeks, I'm actually going to teach you how to make this peanut butter from scratch at home.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's my favorite. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
We're gonna add some sweetness and some texture. We're using dates, and it's actually gonna be like kind of the glue that holds it all together. And dates, again, they're nature's caramels. They are so delicious, but
in general, dates are amazing. They're fun. The fruit and in real life, like, dates are amazing.
They are really, really amazing. And also when you get that, like, the 3 o'clock slump. Ours is a bit different because our day starts like a lot early in the day. But you know what I'm talking about, the 3 o'clock slump. If you just have one of these, it's all you need to actually get you like to the end of the day.
To the end of the day. I mean, you need to
day.
get home for the family meal time, to be there with the kids going to bed. So this is really the perfect snack you can add to your work from home snack box.
Absolutely. And these are Majul dates that have been destoned already.
Okay.
The pit's been taken out. And then all I want to do is add a little bit of water to it, and that's going to just help it break it down.
Okay. So at the moment, what you've popped into this blender here is just the dates.
Just the
dates. Adding some water.
And then, like I said, the water is only going to just help break it down, so we get that perfect texture to mix our puffed rice through.
Okay, so you don't need a lot.
You don't need a lot.
Just
you
need
don't.
a little bit to add some liquids, because whenever you put anything into a blender, it wants a bit of liquid.
It does, just to help like blend everything.
There we go.
And that's all you want. You just wanted to break it up.
There
and then
you go.
I'm going to ask you now if you can start mixing the puffed rice. We're going to do this together.
Okay, put me to work.
So puffed rice for me, I mean, it's literally as the name says, it's rice. That's just been, I'm not clumsy.
It's fine.
I'm not clumsy.
I'm worse than you, so this
No,
is
I doubt
fine.
that. I'm an awkward lefty to the max. Okay, cool. This is for you.
Okay,
Puffed rice going in. So we're using the Woolies puffed rice cereal, and what I love about this is you get the chocolate, you get the strawberry flavor, and you can kind of play around with it. I've made this batch now with the plain one. The next batch I'm going to make is going to be with the chocolate.
Okay, with the chocolate. I like the idea of the strawberry because then you can add some pink to it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Another thing is about the strawberry flavored puffed rice. It's actually colored using beetroot. So they don't use any artificial colorings.
And that's also nice to know that I think this year is a very important year to really put emphasis on, where is the food coming from that you are consuming, and also just to realize the impact it has on the environment.
Exactly. Talking about food this year, do you have any new food resolutions for 2021?
Yes, so I have a couple of takeaway apps on my phone, and one of the New Year's resolutions was I'm going to try not to use it.
How are you doing so far?
So I haven't used it, and I've been trying really hard to get to the grocery store before it closes, because after radio, it's too late to go to the grocery store, so I need to work that into my day, which requires planning. But the big thing for me is to prep my own meals instead of...
I love that, I love that.
Or just buying meals where you can see every ingredient that's in it. So that for me is important.
I dig it. I'm going to be a bit cheeky now. I like knowing what people are cooking for dinner, what's in your fridge, but I also want to know, what are your New Year's resolutions, foodie resolutions this year? I'm very interested, and actually read them.
Okay.
I want to know.
Well,
Mine is to do more meal prepping.
Meal prepping, okay.
Because I get home late at night, and then I end up cooking, and then I only have dinner at like almost 10 o'clock at night, and then we have to be here like at the crack.
Early
So
morning.
yeah, more meal prepping.
Well, this is technically meal prepping. I mean, if I'm looking at our peanut butter rice cake bars, this is meal prepping that you can save for the week. I mean, how long would this last if you had to make
This would
batch?
last in the fridge, honestly, the whole week.
The whole week?
The whole week.
Airtight container?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorted.
And then, okay, I'm gonna fast forward now. So what I've done is I've added some desiccated coconut, some vanilla, some of that peanut butter, and we're gonna just mix it through. The thing about vanilla, it makes food a lot sweeter than what it actually is.
Okay.
Because of that sense of vanilla. So you actually don't end up needing a lot more sugar in whatever you're using when you use vanilla.
Plus,
Okay,
we are using sugar-free
peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Exactly. But we're getting the sweetness from the dates, but still, that vanilla just makes it that more delicious and makes you feel like you're really having a treat. It's that vanilla cheat when actually it's just breakfast or that pick me up in the middle of the day.
There you go.
So you've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
I'm going to then. What you're going to do is pack it into a container. You can do, you know those mini muffin, I think it's called a Kolovainki muffin tin. Those tiny little...
Okay.
Yeah,
Just call it a mini muffin tin.
Those are great because, all the mini muffin tins,
me take
those are
one for
great
you.
because what you're going to do is you'll make individual sized ones. Look at us, we're cleaning as we're going. Also, New Year foodie resolution, clean as you go.
Clean as you go.
Look at everybody on the side here, Nicole, Kelly, nodding their head. Wow, how long is that going to last?
These are our
I'm
kitchen
trying.
fairies.
I'm
These are our
trying.
kitchen fairies. So what are you doing now? You're just putting it
Yeah.
into a base. You don't have to use
No.
a ceramic tin.
No, use
use
that
a
little
cake-
mini muffin tin. Do it in a square thing, whatever you want to use.
Okay.
These are quite cute because when you're done, if you do it in a pie dish, you can cut little tiny little slice, little wedges out of it. Again, to making it seem like
slice
an
of
absolute treat.
sweetness,
So
okay.
I've got some malted chocolate, and chocolate's not bad, especially if you're using the dark chocolate. That's also pretty good. You can Jackson Pollock it over the top if you want, or you
There
can
we
just
go.
spread it over the top. And then all you got to do is let it sit in the fridge, pop it out, cut it into any size shapes you want, and your breakfast, your 3 o'clock snack, your anytime snack, traffic snack is done.
Traffic snack, I'm here for that because I think a lot of people, you know, on their way from home, you want to snack on something that you know is going to be sustainable but also not fill you with unnecessary
100%.
sugars. Well, Clem is staying with us this morning. He just showed you how to make this delicious peanut butter and puff rice bar that is perfect for any snack time. If you want the steps to this recipe and the ingredients, make sure you visit woolworths.co.za. Everything is online for you to get. But in case you missed a step, we have a recap for you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, she is here, and she's here just for you and for us, because we're parents. We're almost a year, guys, a year into living in lockdown due to COVID-19. Have parents figured it all out? Is there harmony at home? Is that all about to come to a grinding, crashing halt once hybrid learning starts again? Registered counsellor and our favourite parenting expert, Shonisani, now joins us on the couch to chat a little bit about getting back in the saddle for parenting at home. We can do it. We can do it, Shonisani. Because you've done it. You are a parent.
Yeah, we did it already. We just didn't like some of the stuff we did, but we were doing it.
We figured it out, and you've taken it to the point of releasing a child into the world, because you took her through matric. The toughest time, surely that's got to have been the toughest education, never mind a toddler and creating a creche at home. But I think you've kind of passed the advanced driver's course in this case. How are parents doing, do you think, now that we've had to go back into lockdown?
I think that parents were quite eager for the back to school, and then that bomb just dropped. And I think that some of them are still huddled in a corner trying to figure out more time with them, more time. But I mean, I think that so much of the way the world went last year will be mimicked in some form or the other, even in education. So I think our training ground was set last year. So now this would be like our next level.
Now we're going to smash it, yeah.
So now we are actually more confident in what we can do as parents, because we did it already. We've been down that 2020, all the memes of 2020, and it's hysterical when I see some of the images they used to portray 2020.
You know, I think about the year. You said it was a training ground, so it's a boot camp. And now that the boot camp is wrapped up, and now we can start exercising our new skills that we got from the lockdown. I think
start flexing.
You know, us as parents, just kind of looking at our kids, I think that what we mean to them means a lot more, because we've been in their faces more, because it's not they spending 8 hours a day at school and then coming home to them. So we've had to be present more often. So what would you think is, I'm going to say, best practice, you know, when it comes to engaging your child? And what do you think that they want from us as parents with this new normal?
Or need, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think that what kids wanted didn't actually change, because I do play therapy with kids. A lot of them actually, if they get 3 wishes, guess what one of their wishes is normally? For their parents to be happy. I mean, you get 3 wishes to ask for anything on the planet, right? And one of your wishes often is to see a happy parent. And that just makes my heart just drop to the bottom.
I might want to cry a little bit right now, actually, after hearing.
You can go ahead, brother.
So for me, when you ask what we should do as parents, is we should strive towards more of that, which our children yearn for, and that will fill our lives up, because you can't, and because you were stuck at home, we couldn't do those other things that we used to do that we thought made us happy. So now we were left with the internal space of our mind. Oh, and now there's a minefield for you. So, pardon the pun, but I mean, it's this explosive place where you have to live with yourself. And a lot of the work that I've moved away from just parenting on its own to working with people to get them to that happy place, because that's essentially what our kids want. Because you are that model, Graham, you know I've said this, you model your behavior, you model what you desire. So that happy you is a role model for the child to be a happier child, because they came with the blueprint. They're just happy by birth.
Yeah.
It's all the other nonsense.
Loving and
it's the other nonsense that we put on them that takes the happy out.
That being said then, how important is the role that we are playing in our handling of the pandemic? Because we're also going through something that we've never really had to deal with, certainly our generation. How important is the way that we navigate these waters and that imprint that because this is surely a great boot camp for our kids as well.
Yeah, I think that a lot of, if ever our kids have learned the hardest life lessons about struggles financially, emotionally, multiple losses, that would be the training ground for them, something we often get only later in life. So the thing that we need to understand is that they want us to create a calm space for them. They want us to make home a fun place. And when we have to teach our kids and parent them and work and all those things, we sacrificed often the one for the other. We sacrificed the calm parent in control and loving for the teacher because we felt that was more important, and making sure they're up to standard. And I said this the other day, I don't know where I was, but I said that scrap the academic year. Don't even look at your child's report. Okay, except my daughter in matric, but I mean, I'm still looking at it with a different view.
How did that one work out for you?
I'm going to look at it with a different view. I said that if kids come out emotionally stable, right, and mentally healthy, it was a good year. I don't care about the report. And I can say that because, you know me and marks and academics, it isn't how conscious parents parent. When you parent your child academically, you're parenting them for society, not for yourself or not for them.
And I'm just adding to that, for a guy, maybe it's about, for financial well-being, you sacrifice all of that because you think, I've got to feed them before I look after their emotional health. More questions than answers already at this stage, which bodes well. We're going to continue our discussion. We are talking about parenting 2.0 in this stage of lockdown. What have we learned? Are we becoming better parents through this journey?
Well, to be a parent, you need to have a baby. And we thought since 2020 is all wrapped up, we might as well take a look at some of the interesting findings that Google had shared recently about in their annual year in search report, which also highlighted a category of the 10 most Googled babies for the year. Now, we are going to skip a few of them and only highlight the ones we know. And I feel like there needs to be a bit of a disclaimer when it comes to the pronunciation of some of these baby names. We blame the parents for the unique names, but don't judge us.
You know, Hollywood stars and naming their children, they are very creative when it comes to that. But we're going to start off with our number 9 spot. It's Cameron Diaz, who with husband Benji Madden shared their baby news not too long ago via Instagram. Her daughter goes by the name of Radix Madden. It seems like we won't be seeing any pictures of the baby girl anytime soon based on this post. But you know what? I think this is a common trend from celebrities to not share their baby pictures, perhaps for their privacy. And it reads, Happy New Year from the Maddens. We are so happy, blessed and grateful to begin this new decade by announcing the birth of our daughter Radix Madden. She has instantly captured our hearts and completed our family. While we are overjoyed to share this news, we also feel a strong instinct to protect our little one's privacy, so we won't be posting pictures or sharing any more details other than the fact that she is really, really cute. Some would even say rad. From our family to all of yours, we're sending our love and best wishes for a happy new year and happy new decade. Oh, that's such a cute post.
I always just thought any of the Madden brothers would maybe name their daughter Charlotte. You know, you never know. But
makes sense.
Yes.
Oh.
And coming in at number 8 is Ed Sheeran's baby. He posted this image of a knitted blanket with some socks, and the wife and his, well, the singer and his wife, Sherry Seaborn, they welcomed their daughter Lyra Antarctica Seaborn Sheeran in September. Now, again, the photo was captioned, both mom and baby are doing amazing, and we are on cloud 9 over here. We hope that you can respect our privacy at this time.
I love that. That's really precious. Just those little socks. Yes, so cute. But now on to our next one, from debuting her baby bump via a music video to sharing pregnancy cravings and a sweet gender reveal. Can you take a guess? We're talking about Katy Perry, coming in at number 7, keeping followers up to speed throughout her pregnancy to fiancé Orlando Bloom. They welcomed their first child in August and have named her Daisy Dove Bloom. What a precious name. They posted this black and white picture holding their daughter's hand, and I just can't help myself but swell up with emotions. It's just so cute.
And I hope baby has Katy Perry's eyes. She's got the most stunning blue eyes.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
Well, let's look at who's coming in at number 6. It's none other than Nicki Minaj. Now, after months of teasing and dropping hints about being pregnant, the Super Bass star mother revealed that the baby news, she revealed it via her Instagram account, and it is a bit of a thread, it seems. Now, this is her first child with husband Kenneth Petty. Now, 2 weeks ago, Nicki posted a picture of her gorgeous little boy. Isn't he just the cutest? You can see that is Nicki. That is Nicki. That is a mini Nicki.
That is Nicki's face. It's like boom, 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 boom. It looks like it's about to drop a bar. Boom, 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 boom. He does look like it. He's just too precious, man. Literally a spitting image of his mother. I love it. But finally, okay, at the #1 spot, I'm gonna need you to take a guess who you think the most Googled baby of 2020 is.
Oh, it can't be a Kardashian baby because they didn't have babies last year. I have no idea.
Not Beyonce because she didn't have any babies last
babies.
year. Well, it's Elon Musk, okay?
Ooh.
When Musk and his girlfriend Grimes announced the birth of their first child together, we weren't too sure what to think about their son's name. And listen, I won't even begin to try to pronounce it. Neither parent has yet shared how to pronounce it either, but it's got something to do with maths, sums,
There's some equation.
Some equation, okay? Please, Elon, if you are watching, we know that you watch every morning, please, just let us know how to pronounce your child's name.
I mean, you are the world's richest man.
Please.
You can at least
It only makes
develop a machine that could pronounce your child's name for us.
I love that idea, actually. Please let us know on our social media. What do you think of the most Googled babies? And let us know what you have Googled the most in 2020, actually. I think it would be some interesting finds. For now, though, I think I just want to take a quick
We'll
snack.
have breakfast. We'll see you in a bit.
Only you can make my day.
Here's to you, can't work from home workers. Bo Terminator, cause every meeting I'll be back. The mask forgetting shoppers. Hi. And you, who go the extra mile instead of keeping just 1.5 meters. To you who opened your doors again, we take our hats off. Nina, who kept us moving 100%. And of course, they're no mayini general dealers. You might not be essential workers, Mara, you too played an essential role in keeping Mzansi working. And that's why we're giving you a chance to win your share of 5 million rand. Join Nedbank today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. We know that a child is a blessing, but still, it ain't easy being a parent. You'll learn those lessons every day, yet alone navigating the sloping terrain of parenthood in lockdown. Registered counsellor Shonisani now joins us to continue our discussion on parenting during the pandemic. I mean, surely it's just parenting.
Okay.
Maybe that's just what it is. You know?
I mean, we covered some good ground. I mean, part one, we covered about, us as parents and the way we should be conducting ourselves and what that means to our kids. We also covered how we've been coping. But I think let's focus on just the parents because, as you may know, in the house, no longer can you say we'll sort this out later when the kids go to school. The kids are there in the house. And when it comes to arguments and the way you address one another within that relationship, especially if you're living together, that can be important because we did touch on mirroring and the fact that behavioral, sort of influence is quite important for the child. So when it comes to arguments and settling things, what would be the best option with regards to dealing with disagreements in the home with the kids being there?
I think with one of the key factors in healthy relationships is communication. So if you struggled before lockdown with communication, it's as if someone took bright lights and shone it on that which is lacking, which is pure, honest and healthy communication. So a lot of people say we don't argue in front of our kids, but kids know, even without a verbal witnessing of an argument, when parents are upset with each other, it carries an energy.
Vibe.
Yeah, the vibe is the common word, but it has an emotional energy that children pick up on. And that sometimes, so I'm not even going to go into just actually arguing. I'm saying monitor your emotional state when you're upset. Because what happens is the child says, Mom, are you fine? And then clearly Mom is like steam's coming out of her ears. She's giving Dad the evil eye. And then she's like, yes, I'm fine. And the child will persist because it isn't your body language and what you're saying are not a match. And often, I had, when my son was younger, the youngest is now 13, he would actually take my face and he'd say, Mommy, look in the mirror, you are angry. And he would bring me back to that. I wasn't aware that I'd built up this, you know what I'm trying to say? So this awareness of yourself emotionally, it's the key.
Because, arguments are going to happen.
Yes.
It's a natural part of life. You've got to be able to navigate that. Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
Okay.
Honey,
Here we go.
Most of our anxiety, you talk about hiding or trying to kind of mask anxiety in the house during lockdown. Financial stresses are massive. How do we broach that with our children? How do we, maybe in a positive sense, communicate a more conscious financial spending and financial well-being to our children during this time? Because I doubt there is a human being on the planet who hasn't been put through the ringer when it comes to their financial health during lockdown.
I actually had to say to the one who loves shopping is my daughter, and I had to say to her at one point that there isn't like unnecessary money spending fund. There's only let's get through this fund. And the conversation, the kids get pocket money, which then they're allowed to do with, and a lot of them just banked, they kept the pocket money until they could go out and do things with it. But there were other things that we had to cut back on in the house, just because a lot of people either got no income or reduced income. I work for myself, so I wasn't really working, so there was nothing there. And we had to just look at what can we do together but still keep ourselves comfortable. And one major change that I learned was that I grocery shop like a robot without questioning. Same cereals, a quantity, when I used to physically grocery shop. And then lockdown happened and I realized, but I don't need all these things. I couldn't access it either, and I can't afford it on the other hand. And my kids would often say to me, don't cook. This was the hard part with the four moms. we think we must cook to be good moms, right? And the kids would actually say, don't make anything. They say, what you going to eat? We'll eat toast, it's fine. But then you feel like a failure because good moms make food, until I had to realize that that's less spending.
You are the provider. You must provide.
Yeah, toast was easy, and whatever it is they wanted.
Yes.
That helped the budget a lot because the eating changed. You know, during the course of lockdown, we couldn't or didn't want to eat certain things, and that helped the budget a lot. I know some people said all the kids want to do is eat all day. You know, I don't have that age group.
So what you're saying is you can have that honest conversation and you can just be open about it, and maybe it'll be a good chance for you to be honest with yourself.
Absolutely, and it's good to be reflective at the best of times as well. I think that the last one, and I think this is it's a quick one, I'm sure we can unpack it for hours, but you know, we're in each other's spaces a lot, and there's a little social anxiety that's happening at the same time, especially when it comes to the younger kids. So when it comes to parents, how do we manage if they've become too close to us, too attached to us? Because that separation anxiety is actually a thing. So just a sentence or two about what you think would be the best practice to kind of alleviate that.
So I think a lot of that would also hinge on if the child had social anxiety before, it would be amplified. But even the child who didn't struggle socially, like my daughter yesterday in Cavendish, she was like looking around anxiously, and I asked her, what's wrong? She says, can we go home soon? And she's 18, and she loves being outdoors. She loves, you know, so that I could actually see yesterday the impact on her. The youngest one doesn't want to leave the house. You know, Wi-Fi, gaming, food, you know. He's got the trilogy. He doesn't actually care about anything else. I mean, what more is there if he gets fed and he gets to game and, you know, and there's and watch whatever he wants. So the needs are different, man, in terms of that. And he's a socially anxious child. So being indoors is like heaven, you know. But even a child like my daughter who needed people, when she was around people yesterday, she struggled because that fear, man, this is what I think our kids have developed. This fear of who has it, can I get it? I don't know. When someone coughs, actually, my daughter, her whole body stiffens, including at home. When one of us coughs, she just stiffens. So,
Look, it's an anxiety that we all share. So if you're feeling it, no matter how young you are, don't worry, you're not alone. Do you know what I feel like we need after this? Is a bit of restorative baking.
Yes,
a little bit of healing baking. Let's get back in the kitchen.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible. Made with love by Clover.
We are bringing you back in the kitchen with Zoe over here to put the glory back, rather, into your mornings with a great bake-ahead recipe, our Clover Bliss breakfast loaf. This easy one-bowl recipe is great for freezing and reheating for when you are in need of a quick breakfast, and that happens a lot, especially now with children going back to school shortly. Parents are looking for fantastic, quick and easy to make lunch, right?
And when quick and easy also doesn't have to be unhealthy, so this is something great that you can prep the morning of or even the day before, and you can really find ways to save it for some time. So we're going to start off with making our bread, and we're going to focus on the wet ingredients.
Okay,
I'm going to put you to work. We've got some eggs. Here's a whisk. We're going to add a little bit of melted butter.
Okay.
There we go. And then, of course, our hero ingredient, which is our Clover Bliss double cream yogurt. We are using the plain flavor for this recipe, and we are going to add a little bit of milk. So you can just whisk all of that together for me, and I will focus here on our dry ingredients.
All right, wait, am I adding the entire jug of milk?
All of it. Our kitchen fairies have measured it out for us. There we go.
Hey.
So we've got our flour here. We're going to mix in a little bit of self-raised baking powder. There we go. We are going to season it with a bit of salt. And then the nice thing about this recipe is what we are going to add in terms of our savory ingredients is some bacon bits. Now you can choose to leave the bacon out. You can maybe opt for some bacon, or if you want to really go like completely vegetarian, how about some sun-dried tomatoes or some feta, and really just play around with adding some mushrooms, and then you can season it to your liking. We're just going to use a little bit of spring onion. So I'm adding our bacon.
And I think also the recipe allows you to actually play with different flavors or play with different spices and not just limited to, you know, your spring onions.
Yes, and everyone has a little bit of cheese. I mean, I'm someone that doesn't get through all my cheese alone, so it often gets a bit of mold on it.
Yeah.
So this is also a great recipe to use before the mold gets on the cheese.
And also, just to take note, Zoe, you mentioned that we used the plain flavor, but also it comes in different ranges, actually. We have the strawberry and cream flavor, the choc chip flavor, hazelnut and lemon meringue. It's an entire party, okay?
There we go. So now we're going to combine our ingredients. That is perfectly whisked. Thank you so much. And then you're going to grease your little bread tin, and we are preheating our oven to 180 degrees. I'm going to mix these two together, our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients.
Well, I watched you and Chef Clem earlier on, and you guys made it a point to clean after yourselves as you were making or preparing the meal, so that's exactly what I'm doing. Learning from the best.
As you go. There we go. And you know what's great about this? A little bit of a tip. So I'm someone that, because I live by myself, getting through a loaf of bread is not realistic. I often, the minute I get my bread a day in, I'll start freezing it in different little slices.
Really?
Because from frozen, you can literally pop it into your toaster. My toaster has a defrost option, but you can also just put it on its lowest setting to gently make your toast from frozen to a nice fresh piece every morning.
Wow.
And it really just makes your bread last that much longer if you can't get through a loaf on your own.
That's a fantastic kitchen trick, actually, or plan, because often people literally, I know this is bad, but people do dispose of leftover bread.
They're wasteful.
Or very, very wasteful. So this is the best way to optimally use our kitchen ingredients. And how are we doing so far, Zoe?
We're doing really well. I actually feel like I'm going to switch over now to our little spatula, and we're simply just going to put this into our bowl, and then this will go into the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. I'm very mistrustful of my own oven, so I would suggest maybe just each oven is different.
Yeah.
I need to really just get a new oven because the rubber is broken. Not about the broken oven, but make sure you use a skewer to check if your bread is ready.
Oh my goodness, Zoe.
Listen, my oven's been used for storage at the moment.
You know what? I know what I'm giving you for Christmas this year.
Christmas is only a year away.
I know. It gives me enough time to save up for a gift for you, Zoe.
There you go, thank you. And you know what's also amazing? You're going to pop that into the oven. When it's ready, you can serve it fresh. And also what's quite cool is if you have leftover bread and you want to the next day for breakfast, play around with it, you can turn it into French toast.
Yes.
Because it's already got your bacon bits, your leftover cheese, your spices in it, and that will also make a yummy, savory breakfast.
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you so much, Zoe, for coming through to the kitchen and elevating our culinary skills, okay? Make sure to head on over to our website, expressoshow.com, to get your hands on this incredible mouth-watering recipe.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Born and bred in Atlantis in the Western Cape and proud of it, Sasha Lee Davids comes from a musical family, unbelievably talented family with 9 siblings who share her passion and love for music. The singer-songwriter now joins us this morning to chat about a brand new single which makes us excited, A Little Love. It's entitled, and then of course her upcoming first ever live streaming show taking place next month. Sasha Lee Davids, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
We love you, man. We love you so
Yes,
much.
we do.
I hope you feel it when you come here.
I do. I
actually almost grabbed the microphone earlier and actually started singing along, but I can't. But I'll try. But it's so great to have you. I know that 2020 has been quite a year.
It has been.
And it's so surprising to hear you doing your first live stream because 2020 were filled with those things, you know?
I know, but I'm struggling to get into the live stream thing, eh?
Why? What about
No,
it?
for sure.
Are you an audience?
I'm an audience person. Like, I feed off the audience.
Yes.
You know, you get that random person screaming, you get that random person throwing something. So I'm that person. And the online thing, cameras and no audience, it's just weird. It's just weird.
So what are you going to tell yourself in your mind to get yourself there? Do you just close your eyes and go for it? How do you get yourself into that?
You know, it's one of those
zone?
things you don't have a choice.
That's
It's either you do the thing or you don't, or you just suck.
But we need the music, let's be honest. We need the music.
We do.
And I think that it's best to imagine somebody shouting, "Ooh, the fly, Sasha, yes!" It's important to do that, though. And
I know.
And I mean, it's also great to actually have that exposure, that platform. I mean, live stream could be a great place to showcase your new single, A Little Love, because immediately somebody will be in the live stream space, click on, download the single, you know, music
go digital,
suddenly,
girl. Go digital.
No, exactly. I'm super excited about it. I mean, it's not my favorite kind of thing to do.
Yes.
You've got 9 siblings, for goodness sake. Just bring them all in and you've got an audience. I mean...
But you know the nice thing about it, though, I'm not alone because it's not backing tracks, it's a band. So that kind of still keeps you in the vibe of, okay, it's live, there's people around me, I'm not alone. And I'm also sharing, like, my lockdown playlist. I mean, that's the vibe of I'm telling you, the songs on there.
Are they going to break your heart? Are they going to inspire you?
You know, I had such a lot of time at home when it was like a level 5.
Yeah.
Stage 5 of this whole lockdown thing. So the music went from upbeat and up there and then it just goes, it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's that kind of...
Did you just hear the voice of this man? Wow! That was incredible.
I'm still looking for someone to do Shallows with me, so...
Shallow.
Come on.
There, man.
And he does look like Bradley Cooper a little bit.
know what I
Can you
mean?
see that?
You guys are doing me wonders. A Little Love.
Yes.
You got to promote a new song. When we talk about the organic, normal life cycle of a new song, you got to get out there and tour it.
Yes.
And now you can't tour it.
I know.
Talk us through the song first. What is A Little Love? So
A Little Love, I actually wrote a few years ago when there was still lots of love. So, yes, I wrote it a few years ago, and it was one of those songs that I didn't do anything with. I just kind of kept it on the back burner, and it seems like this is the time for a song like that, because the lyrics speaks of, you know, love, you get it in many forms.
Yes.
You get it in giving, you get it in sharing, you get it in caring, you get it in, you know, a simple smile. So A Little Love is just this time, just be who you are. Just live freely, just be happy, just smile, and in any way you can give a little love, you do just that. So this is the perfect time, I think, for me to release the song. And I've been working with amazing people, especially sound surgeon and this guy called Edward King Music. He's phenomenal, so he put his special touch on that track, and I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited. I actually can't wait to hear the track. I mean, I really can't wait. And I know that this year, live stream 27th, A Little Love dropping very soon. Any other plans for 2021?
2021, Pastella's actually busy doing their last season, so they asked me back, by the way. So.
Thank you.
Yes, so we are doing that again. I'm excited. I need to pick up my Afrikaans books again and read through those to get the you know, the big words again, the rijmklitser and those kind of things. So I'm excited about that. Yes, then it's just getting into the live stream kind of things and just writing. I've been writing non-stop, and that's an exciting process for me. So that's the major focus.
And I suppose that going through this introspective space, a great way to process what's going on in the world around us.
Exactly.
Right, you've got that therapy there.
Yes.
Use it. I'm so glad we've got you here. We are your audience today.
Awesome.
And the hundreds of thousands of people also watching. So treat that. This is the biggest performance ever of the year, and we are so privileged to have you here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll shout Hunefleis later, so it feels good.
I'll throw something, whatever. I'll throw something.
Before we stop this interview,
yes,
I think the date of that message to you dates
Yes.
back to 2 years ago.
What?
Really?
No response.
Well, that's on that note,
That's
let's go
fine.
into the news very quickly. Right, you're on Expresso. We'll address that later. Whew.
I got your back, Wasty. Let's start with your national news. President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday announced the establishment of an inter-ministerial committee which will be in charge of the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines. The committee will be led by Deputy President David Mabuza. Ramaphosa said that while there was no money to put in relief measures for those hard hit by restrictions implemented to curb the spread of the pandemic, there would be sufficient to acquire the vaccines. The plan will see SA seeking to vaccinate at least 40 million people over the next 12 months. And staying with local news, Health Minister Zweli Mkhize is calling for a continued ban on the sale of alcohol. Mkhize said that the ban was reducing pressure on the healthcare system as it was decreasing trauma cases linked to car accidents and alcohol-induced brawls. Meanwhile, various stakeholders in the liquor industry are calling for the resumption of alcohol sales, saying that this would assist in keeping their businesses afloat after only trading for 3 months last year. We now move abroad, where Washington, D.C. prepares for the inauguration of Joe Biden as president of the U.S. later today. Flags will represent crowds who will not be able to attend due to the pandemic. Biden will take office at 9 p.m. South African time tonight, and security is intense in Washington ahead of the ceremony. Thousands of National Guard Reserve soldiers have been deployed in the wake of the storming of the Capitol building on the 6th of January that left 5 people dead. Trump is the 4th U.S. president in history to boycott his successor's inauguration. And the United Nations said yesterday that $76 million was urgently needed to help over 1 million people in the southern Madagascar who face potentially life-threatening shortages of food, water and health assistance. The UN issued its so-called flash appeal after the impoverished island country in Eastern Africa saw its agricultural season ruined by the worst drought in a decade. At the same time, the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown implemented to halt the spread of the virus has amplified the effects from the drought. And now some news from the world of entertainment to the much beloved and world famous singer, actress and humanitarian Dolly Parton celebrated her 75th birthday yesterday. In her home state of Tennessee, where she was born in the Great Smoky Mountains as the 4th child in a family of 12, a proposal for a statue of her has been met with unanimous approval. Everyone agrees she deserves this exceptional honor, and even much more, for this revered icon has done it all. She has given the world timeless music. She has acted in movies people watch time and time again. She's also taken a firm stand in support of Black Lives Matter, and during the lockdown she was reading bedtime stories virtually on national TV using books from Imagination Library, her program that mails free books to thousands of children. Seriously, there seems to be nothing this woman cannot do, and she doesn't even look her age. And to crown it all off, she has been married to Carl Dean since 1966. Well, Dolly Parton, a belated birthday from us, and thank you for bringing us hits such as Your 9 to 5 and Jolene. Dolly, we will always love you. Well, on that note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Let's take another look at your sport.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Let's start with cricketing news here, putting pay to his role as a senior member of the Proteas squad. Cricket South Africa yesterday announced that batsman and wicketkeeper Heinrich Klaasen will captain the Proteas. That's in their three-match T20 international series in Pakistan next month. The three matches will all be played in Lahore on the 11th, 13th and 14th of February. And South Africa will start their test match series, a momentous one at that, up against hosts Pakistan on Tuesday, the 26th of January. Then on to footballing action from last night. Premier Soccer League football continued last night with defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns still unable to get the win. They drew 1-1 with, or a goalless draw rather, with Bloem Celtic at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. The Brazilians remaining at the top of the log though, but they're just 1 point clear of second-placed Swallows FC, who are in action again later today. In other results, Amakosi back on track. Kaizer Chiefs beat Chakuma Cha Mazivandila 3-0 at the FNB Stadium in Soweto. This was a third straight win for the Amakosi in the PSL this season. There'll be 6 Premier Soccer League matches to sink your teeth into tonight. That kicks off at 5 p.m. today. And then a little further afield, Leicester City beat Chelsea 2-0 at the King Power Stadium to top the English Premier League standings. Goals by Wilfred Ndidi and man of the moment James Maddison securing the win for the Foxes. In other results, a goal by Mikel Antonio, now back from injury, helped West Ham United to a 2-1 win, home win at least, over West Bromwich. That was at the London Stadium last night. And then looking at tonight's fixtures, we've got third-placed Manchester City on the charge. They face Aston Villa at 8 p.m. And then Manchester United, who now sit second on the log, will have the opportunity to go top again when they take on Scott Parker's Fulham at 10:15. More on all of those stories on the top of the hour right now. Let's take another look at the weather.
Thanks a lot, Graham, and thank you to all our viewers that have contributed to our sunrise pictures, including Nombolela Zandile from Soweto, sent through this fresh morning image. A mostly sunny day is headed your way with a maximum of 30 degrees. Tandeka Mgoza from Pendle posted this beautiful photo of the sun rising over the mountains. A mild day with a maximum of 21 degrees is headed your way. And please don't forget that if you would like to be part of our sunrise segment, all you have to do is head over to our Expresso Facebook page and post your part of the country. Staying with some weather news, a massive snowstorm which yesterday struck the Tohoku Expressway in the north of Japan, caused a devastating 134 vehicle pileup, killing 1 person and seriously injuring 10. Some 200 people were involved in the pileup and rescuers were at the scene for hours. Japan has been hit by severe snowstorms in recent weeks, with some parts of the country seeing double the average expected snowfall. Some 40 centimeters of snow is expected in the next 24 hours, and snow has also affected some of Japan's famous high-speed railway networks, with a number of train services being cancelled. The weather was so bad that an emergency meeting was called, and the country's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga urgently requested members of the public to be extremely cautious. Now taking a look at your temperatures, and I'll start you off with Polokwane, 19 to a high of 30 today, 30 the maximum in Bombela as well, from a low of 18 this morning. Pretoria, 16 to 32. Johannesburg, you are 15 this morning to a high of 30 later. Mahikeng, 20 to 33 today. Klerksdorp, 33 your high as well, and this is from a low of 18. Kimberley, 22 to 34. Bloemfontein, you have a 40% chance of thunder showers, 31 your high from a low of 18. Richards Bay, 20 to 27 with a 69% chance of rain. Pietermaritzburg, you will be a high of 26, 53% chance of rain in your area. Then Durban, 22 your low to a high of 27 a little later. Mthatha, 15 to 23. East London, 19 to 23. Cradock, you'll be 32 from a low of 14. Port Elizabeth, a high of just 24, a 66% chance of rain in your area. 23 the high in George from a low of 15. Cape Town, the mother city, 17 to 28 today. Worcester, a very steamy 36 degrees from a low of 15. Sutherland, 15 to 31 for you. And finally, Uppington, you're a high of 38 degrees today from a low of 22. So do hydrate and keep on that sunscreen. And that's the wrap of your weather for now.
All right, so you heard me apologizing for our vocal stylings yesterday as karaoke hit Expresso. I'm so glad that you actually returned to the show today. So thank you so much for that. We did have a huge amount of fun, and it feels like we have started something, okay?
Yeah.
I think Ryle was the tipping point for us when we saw how much zeal he approached this song with last week. But of course, we hit it hard yesterday, and we thought we'd give you just a little taste of it. This is what went down. Take a look.
Ooh, why am I so nervous?
I don't know. I'm also very nervous.
I've got sunshine.
on a cloudy day.
Yes!
When it's cold outside, I'll got the month of May.
Here we go.
I guess you say, what can make me feel this way?
My girl. My girl.
So much fun, right?
It really was good.
It really,
and my
really
girl was
was.
actually quite good because you can go low, you can go high. It was good. It was
There's
good.
range. There's range for everyone. And Shanaz, we stumbled upon your Instagram and you do a little bit of karaoke yourself.
Yeah.
With the shades on, girl, with the shades on. I love it, I love it. It's not the first time I've actually had a good chuckle at some of your videos. I do find great inspiration. So here's the thing, you shot yourself in the foot, okay? Because after our karaoke performance, you posted this on your timeline. I love it. Let's do a song on my next visit. There it is. Everyone can see it.
Yes.
You've proven it. So I'm sorry, you know how we roll on this show. You can't be a parenting expert until you are willing to let go. Hey, that is true. So you're gonna do it today.
Yes, I'm doing it. I'm all in.
Because in honor of Katy Perry, who's going to be involved with the presidential inauguration later today, we thought we'd inspire you. Okay, are you ready for the fireworks?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't know if the country's ready. I don't know if South Africa's ready. We might help you in spurts. I don't know if I can even sing as high as Katy Perry. I know they can give it a go.
I could try my best. I'm there, but we have Shanaz
because we are
to
one
lead us.
family. All right, Mr. DJ, drop a beat. Shanaz Moose, the floor is yours.
Okay, where's my... I need my...
Over there. There's your screen.
There we go, there we go.
Come on, guys.
Like a
plastic bag drifting through the wind. Wanting to start again. Do you ever feel so paper thin? Like a house of cards, one blow from caving in. Do you ever feel already buried deep? 6 feet under street, but no one seems to hear a thing. Do you ever know? There's still a chance for you, cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, everybody. Come and show him what you were. Make him go, oh, oh, oh. As you shoot across the sky, sky, sky. Hey. Baby, you're firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make him go, oh, oh, oh. And you're gonna leave him, oh, oh, oh.
Oh. Oh, I'm giving you such a big virtual hug right now. I needed that, eh? I'm going to suggest that if you need to let go today and do a little bit of self-therapy,
yes,
okay, just fireworks got to be the song. You've got to be able to just let it out there. Shanaz, well done. Thank you for rising to the challenge.
Yeah.
If you would like to join our karaoke challenge, of course, we'd love to see your videos. Weekend Special is the one we're going to be doing in our next session. So my brr is our inspiration. Record a video of yourself singing and maybe, just maybe, we'll play it along as we try to sing.
Next week, Tuesday, actually, we are going to play those videos of yourselves. Sing along to I'm No
Weekend Special. I'm your weekend special.
I love that. welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, here on SABC3. It's a Wednesday, and this morning we are joined by our #Woman Crush Wednesday. She has achieved an honours degree in theatre and performance from the University of Cape Town, and with a strong stage and film acting background, she has taken the industry by storm with her artistry. We catch up with Shonisani Masutha about life as an actress, being the first African actress to feature in a Bollywood series, and her new business venture, Shonisani Bread. Please give a warm Expresso welcome to Shonisani Masutha. Woo-woo! Hey, how are you? How are you doing? You look so beautiful.
Thank you so much. So do you.
Oh, thank you. Shonisani, we're going to take it back, okay? We're so excited to have you on the show. Take us through who Shonisani is and becoming the talented actress that is loved and adored by many globally.
Wow, that's such a big question. I am a young Venda woman who is a performer through and through. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. Woo-woo. Oh. And I've just been performing since I was so young. And I grew up to just become exactly what I wanted to become. And positive, bubbly. Yes. I love plants, as you can see.
Yes.
That's it about me, yeah.
You are so lovely, you know, and before we continue with our conversation, I just want our viewers to see you in action.
Okay. Don't say even number yanga as Taxi Bay.
Taxi Bay.
People would be over on their chance. How about shipping a chawe at Amba? Original, but the Bang, but she is a Caribbean school. How is it? What is it about you?
Just looking at that short clip of the work that you have done, it just shows that you have an extensive range when it comes to the roles that you choose. But there's one that stood out for me. You landed a role in a Bollywood series. How does that work?
Wow, actually, that was the craziest time of my life. I think I hadn't booked a job in like 9 months or something, and I had chosen to do behind the camera work. And then my agent called me and she's like, listen, the people from India, from Z World, really liked your picture on the website, and they want to see you audition for this role. They think you're like the perfect look, but now it's to see if you've got the talent. And I was so nervous. I remember I shot up from my desk and I grabbed the monologue and I was learning it in between the tasks that I had to do for the day. And and then I went to Z World and I auditioned my heart out. I left everything on the table, and luckily that was enough, because then I became Nora.
You became Nora. Let's extend on that. How was your experience as Nora in Mehek?
Wow, the whole experience from living in India for 3 months, which was just, wow, it was so culturally enriching and like really eye-opening to the fact that we're all the same all around the world. We're all the same. We just have these nuances, these languages, these, the food and stuff, but otherwise we're literally all the same. And Nora introduced me to a whole audience that I never thought I would have been introduced to. I'm talking about people from Nigeria and Ghana and Gabon, and who are telling me that they know me and they know my work, and I'm just so grateful. I appreciate it so much, and it's been an incredible experience.
I can only imagine, because shortly after that production, you also graced the pages of the Cosmopolitan magazine March 2020 issue, alongside Pearl Tusi and 3 other young talented stars in there. And in your article, you stated that we need to spend more time developing the skills of our writers, actresses and directors way before production, because often production can feel very rushed. Having time to develop your craft is important, and that was your quote. Why is the process of honing your talent very crucial?
I am a firm believer in practice makes perfect. The more you do something, the more you find a better way to do it, an easier way, a smarter way to do it. And I don't think that acting is exempt from that. I think that acting, writing, producing, all of that, the more time you spend fleshing out your characters, fleshing out the beats, the storylines, the better it becomes, the more realistic it becomes, because life it's complex and it needs you to take the time to fill in the little details so that you can connect to everyone that's watching.
I 100% agree with you. We cannot overlook the arts. Just because you are born with the talent does not mean you need to neglect it and not continue honing it. And you, Shonisani, you possess such leadership attributes, as we have clearly seen with the range of artistry that you portray and risks that you've taken with your work. However, it does not seem like you're going to stop anytime soon. You've launched your own braids extension line, Shonisani Braid. What inspired this venture?
Well, I was already a brand ambassador for Afrotex. Afrotex is one of the leading hair manufacturers in Africa. They've got factories and stuff all over Africa, but for South Africa, for the Durban Dread, for the Shonisani Braid, the Shonisani Curl, they produce everything here locally. And they approached me to be a brand ambassador. And from that, our relationship grew. And soon afterwards, they called me in and they said, hi. So we had the new premium soft fiber, 31 inches, hasn't been seen on the market before, but we don't know what to call it. We don't know how to breathe life into it. Do you have any ideas? So I was like, oh, do you guys need me for like marketing, or do you need like social media help? And they were like, no, we want to know if we can call it the Shonisani Braid.
Wow.
And I looked up and I said, God, is this really happening right now?
God is
and
good.
I was like, that's a dream come true. I mean, we've all been getting braids since we were so young. I've always been a hair person, braid person, like even my grade 1 picture, you know? And I grabbed opportunity with both hands. And then I had like a conversation with them about my role and how I wanted to be more than just the face and the name. How I wanted to use my previous education and, you know, what I know I can bring to be a part of the hair brand from the ground up. And I've been lucky enough to do that.
And what I love the most is that it's locally produced, so also you are contributing to our economy in South Africa. You know me, girl, I love me a great hairstyle when it comes to brands, to braids rather. Please walk me through some of your favorite styles when it comes to your collection.
Okay, so right now, my favorite part of the Shonisani Braid collection is the fact that we have so many colors. So as you can see right now in my hair, I'm wearing the pink, the blue, the white, the brown, and the black. But my favorite would be the new Shonisani Curl, which has got an ombre blonde at the bottom. I think it's the 133. And, the Shonisani one white as well, because if you start rooting it from up there, then it becomes this beautiful gray, and then it highlights little whites inside, which I think is a lot of fun. And also, I like the ombre with the red that I wore for my birthday, with the red dress.
Oh, with the red dress and the bun at the top, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that was beautiful. If we can have that picture up, please. Oh my gosh, that is just so stunning. I am obsessed with you, Shonisani, and I know that you are not going anywhere because you're still hanging out with us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's our hashtag Woman Crush Wednesday. Actress Shonisani Masutha, she's still here on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and a little later on, we're going to be playing a fun little game. But for now, though, let's see which latest movies to look forward to.
I've said this once, I'll say it again. You know you are cool when you have your own intro ahead of your segment. Ladies and gentlemen, JP Sebastian. We are talking movies, but not just any movies. We are talking about the latest movie trailers that have been released. And can I just say, when I looked at this first one that we're about to talk about, it's called Beautiful Something Left Behind. What a documentary. It hits you right in the feels, because I'm not going to steal your thunder here.
No, tell me.
But what I could literally see from this trailer is...
Snapshot sale. What was it that grabbed
you? It gives you the understanding of how a kid handles grief. And I think now that we are during a pandemic, it is so scary to wake up and see names and people putting, condolences up to family members being lost. What a beautiful documentary to look forward to.
Now better than ever, I suppose. Well, throughout history. I mean, even just with adults, I struggle. How do you console someone? There's so much that 7 billion people don't understand about death, as whether it's a natural, biological process, spiritual, however you want to put it. But these kids are defining on their own terms how they process that grief. Documentary, as you said, Beautiful Something Left Behind, is based in New Jersey, where there's a cleverly named group called Good Grief. And kids of all races, all religions get together and process the loss of a loved one. Both parents, even some of them, some grannies, some siblings, etc., etc. And they have these sort of group conversations that, like I said, it's structured on their own terms, but with the guidance of adult counselors and parents nearby at all times, even though they're allowed to have, there's one room, for example, called the volcano room, where they're allowed to just blow up.
Okay.
Because, I feel like a baby compared to looking at these already way too wise beyond their years kids who have to deal with the kinds of things they do.
So that was quite a powerful scene with the paint, where the red and the blue represented something else, and they could express their emotions in different ways.
And that sort of wisdom comes across. You don't want to sort of make too much of a deal that it's way too attractive to go, ooh, they're so wise beyond their years. But no kid should have to be like the way, one of them's asked, don't you just want to be able to play like, inverted commas, normal kids do? But they keep this tone throughout that just seems like everyone's pushing something down, everyone's just sort of repressing something, but speak, like I said, a lot more sort of eloquently and expressively and just with more depth than even JP Sebastian does on national television. I wish there were more things like this. I don't know if anything like this exists in South Africa, but what a beautiful idea. And like you said, especially during this pandemic, when how do you explain to your kids what is happening and what it all means and whether there is meaning and whether you should just face the inevitability that, well, we're all going to die, and how do you make peace with that?
It? Because the ones left behind are the ones that have to actually process it. And I think for young minds to just give them that platform to be able to express themselves and deal with these feelings, because that's going to carry into your adulthood.
And without the stricture and the structure of this is how Zoe says you should, this is how JP says you should. Trust me, I went through it when I was growing up, kind of thing. It seems like they just do it very fluidly and organically. Yeah. So never mind just for kids. I think just for parents as well. This could be really cathartic, really therapeutic. So South Africans, maybe you want to get your hands on it. No dating essay for it just yet. Might end up being on a streaming service, most likely. Yeah, but big screen, probably very little chances for the little ones. But Beautiful Something Left Behind looks absolutely heartbreaking.
So the next one, we're going to look at the trailer that was released called Stray. And what's interesting is Istanbul, I've known how many stray animals they have. I mean, if you look at the numbers of how many stray dogs, stray cats are in the streets of Istanbul, it is scary. And this is a documentary or film that follows one doggo in particular.
Oh, well, so there's one main doggo. That's Zaytin, who is a girl, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, don't worry. All dogs are good boys deep down inside, irrespective of their genders. Zaytin, Kartal, and Nazar is the other one. But did you know that it's actually a municipal policy that these dogs shall not be captured or killed? So there are 100,000 of them, and apparently they're all sort of just, you must have seen, restaurants care for them, people care for them, just randomly.
Even when I was in Istanbul, that was the whole thing, was you just see these cats, and I mean, I'm a bit more cat obsessed, so I saw all these cats everywhere, and you want to, look after them, but that's their way of life.
You can't bring them all home, Zoe.
No.
That would be
incorrect. That cat lady.
So it follows very much a similar style to, there was a documentary 2 years ago called Katy, which followed Istanbul cats on the other hand. So if you're a cat lady, we look out for Katy. But Stray follows the dogs, and it really, maybe it helps in a way, like sometimes you need a stranger to tell you what you're going through in life, if that makes sense. Sometimes you need to see the world through the eyes of a dog to make sense of the human drama that we're all going through. There's also probably something very special about the camera being that low at all time and giving the sense of upward grandeur and wonder to human beings. Everything has to look up at us. What are we doing? What is this crazy politics we go through, the drama of being alive? So parallel to the stray dog story, it actually has running next to it the story of Syrian refugees who are also on the street, who, well, surprise, surprise, don't have a policy that protects them on their own. So a really beautiful and humanizing and empathetic stray I really look forward to. But again, no date in SA just as of yet. Most likely ends up on a streaming service. I know even YouTube has Katy on there that you can pay for. So this might end up being on YouTube. Who knows? I'll tell you closer to the time that it's, you know,
when it releases.
Gets on all 4 feet.
Okay. Well, the trailer is out. I will highly encourage you to go check out Stray as well as Beautiful Something Left Behind. So go look at those trailers. That's what myself and JP just discussed. He's not going anywhere. We've got more movie trailers to bring to you right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back as we don the apron and get back into the kitchen. We are continuing our veganuary because we love to embrace a meat-free any day, actually, and we've expanded our knowledge about food so much over this last year, and especially in January, and today is going to be no different. Our Be Well vegan banana flapjacks are the perfect feel-good food on your favorite feel-good breakfast show, and whether you enjoy them with fresh fruit, maybe for breakfast, or even as a little sneaky treat with a scoop of vegan ice cream, eating just one will never be enough, so we're going to make many this morning. Grace Stevens now joins us to help us start this journey. We're going to be making something that is delicious and completely vegan.
It is, and it's so easy because we've just substituted our eggs with banana, which is a straight swap. 1/4 cup of bananas for to 1 egg. So that's super easy. And these taste delicious. I reckon you whip up a batch and send your children off to homeschool.
Send them off to the lounge.
I know, because I always find when their tummies are full, they leave me alone. And please take that.
In the best way.
In the best way.
No,
but if you're a mom, you will know.
Trust me, no. As a dad who cooks, I can also relate. I can, but this is also a good way of getting in some really good nutrients, but also a fun and a really great tasting meal at that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get cracking.
Yeah. Right, do you want to start with our wet
Excuse the pun, because we're not actually using eggs.
No,
so
we're not cracking here today. I've mashed 1 whole banana there.
Okay.
And we're going to put some, that's non-dairy milk in there. So you can use almond milk or
And boy, hasn't the non-dairy milk kind of sphere come a long way.
It has.
It really has. You can get some great replacements.
And now you can just walk into an ordinary supermarket and take it off the shelf. And then some vanilla extract just to like get those flavors going. That's banana and vanilla. Best friends. So then this is like classic baking, wet ingredients in one and then the dry ingredients. So I've got my flour here and some almond flour, and this of course just makes it so much more wholesome, lots more this protein that you've got going in there. A little bit of sugar, you can of course substitute that with a sugar alternative if you want to. A little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon is just, for me, cinnamon and breakfast.
Yeah, well, for sure, but cinnamon and banana, very good. Are you worried about the kind of lumps in the banana? What consistency do we need?
I mean, you want to mash it really nice and finely, but a little bit of lumps is just that's what a banana is going to be like. And I think that if you get your kids involved with this and they can do the mashing, it's always a lot of fun.
Completely.
Right, salt and some baking powder. That's just to get a little bit of rise. Just going to mix this loosely here. And then, don't blink, you'll miss it. you add dry and wet ingredients. So just chuck it in there, small bowl to the big bowl, and we mix this up. It's going to be a really thick batter. And then we can go over to the stove and fry them up. Isn't that lovely? Easy. Throw some blueberries in here to, really mix things up. Absolutely. So I'm going to use my Be Well canola oil here and just heat some up in a pan. Medium pan. What you want to do is you don't want it to be too hot so that they go all crispy on the outside and they're raw. Absolutely. Okay. So let me put this baby on. So we're going to get a medium heat going on here, and then don't put too much in the pan at once, because as you put it in, it's going to spread a little bit, and you don't want them to touch each other and be kissing cousins and all that.
Sure.
That is going to be.
And we love the canola oil, cholesterol-free, carries an all-important the stamp of approval from the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
Absolutely.
A really good oil to use if you're going to be cooking. Hands down, great smoking point. Really is our go-to, certainly in this kitchen.
I think you should always have a bottle.
Completely.
Yeah. So here's a tip. I use either a 1/4 cup or a 1/3 cup measure, and I'm just going to use this to scoop and pop them into my pan. And then as soon as they should bubble on the top. And then you know that they're ready to flip. Because sometimes if you do it too soon, then they just go splat. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Yes.
I've got to say that flapjacks and pancakes are a little bit of a hoodoo thing for me. I really do struggle, so I'm going to attempt this at home.
Oh, I'd love to see.
I'm going to see how healthy I can make these as well. So that's been a big thing for me with lockdown, is we've kind of tried to reduce the amount of gluten and wheat as well, and kind of go the more high protein. And I'm amazed at how many options there are available to us. You can make pretty much anything now, sugar-free, wheat-free. And now we know we can go the complete vegan route as well, which is really
We've got to look after our bodies, we've got to look after our immune systems, and I think that's why a good solid breakfast in the morning sets everybody off.
But this is snackalicious. I mean, these are great for a mid-morning snack, and I think the flavour is going to be the absolute taste test. So you can find these guys on expressoshow.com. That's where we put all of our recipes, all of our culinary inspiration is there. Gracie, these look amazing, they smell amazing, and I think these are going to be a wonderful treat, perfect for the kids, especially to kickstart their day.
Yes.
Be well, love, food, life.
That looks absolutely delicious. Grace Stevens, thank you for coming through and elevating our culinary skills and menu. Okay, so we asked you on our social media platforms. It's Woman Crush Wednesdays. We've chosen Shonisani Masutha, the gorgeous actress, to be our Woman Crush Wednesday. And we asked you, who is yours and why? #Expresso Show.
And you guys have really been so sweet, highlighting and celebrating your Woman Crush Wednesdays. So we got our first comment coming through from Snacks Madolo that says, my daughter, she woke up at 4 a.m. every day. Yane, I love that girl. Why do we love her at 4 a.m.?
Honestly. And this one comes from Monelisa Ndumi. She says, good morning, my woman crush is Demi Tebow, Miss Universe 2017. That's a nice one.
Gorgeous. Brenda Marks is highlighting one of our Expresso favorites, Karen Korkie. She says, she really inspired me.
Oh, that story that you just told me now is truly inspirational. So shout outs to her as well. And this one comes from Donald Seshoka. He says, my mother, she always asks, how was my day at work? Oh, we all need that person to ask how we are and how our days are going.
And moms are the best.
Honestly.
So well done for celebrating mom. And then lastly, we have Katlego Mokoena that says, good morning, Expresso Morning Show family. My Woman Crush Wednesday is to be Megan Good. She's beautiful and got me served. See what I did there?
I love Megan Good so much. She is just absolutely stunning. So please make sure to keep the conversation going. Keep it flowing on our social media platforms, letting us know who your #Woman Crush Wednesday is. In fact, here's ours right now.
I can confirm that my Woman Crush Wednesday is Sasha Lee Davids. The reason why it has taken me 2 years to respond to her DMs, and now I can proudly say that this song is a celebration of us connecting on social media. And this now means that an Elvis Presley and UB40 hit has to be sung. She says she selected this song for me. This is Sasha Lee Davids, Can't Help Falling in Love with Carl. Enjoy. That you heard, she said, can't help falling in love with Carl. Did you hear that? I felt like, did you actually need to sing that note again? You don't mind, eh? Can't help falling in love. You can go for it.
But I can't help falling in love with Carl.
Thank you. We are going to drop the album soon. Stand by for that and stay right there. You're on a Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, on SABC 3.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We are back with JP Sebastian for part 2 of the latest movie trailers that's just been released. And we're going to start off with one that's quite interesting. It's called 1982, and it takes a look at the Lebanon War, the war on Lebanon.
Yes, that's right. So what I want to do over the next coming weeks, since we have award season coming up, is try and showcase now and then each of, well, not each of the countries, because we'd be here a while, their submissions for our official Oscar consideration. And this is, surprise, surprise, Lebanon's submission for our official Oscar consideration, which will be when? Late April at this point. Let's see, pandemic permitting.
There'll be a bit of a delay.
Yeah, and when we'll see famous people streaming in their pajamas and stuff like that on the red carpet, no doubt. 1982 is a movie, as you said, about that time in Lebanon, which was a war from 1975 to 1990. That 15 years there was civil war, and then 1982 specifically was when Israel entered officially and attacked Beirut and many other cities. But underneath all of that sort of larger meta macro story is this little kid named Wasim, who all he wants to do now that they've returned to school for the next year is tell the girl that he has a crush on, like, I'm going to draw a line in the sand, I'm going to make my move, I'm the guy for you, I have a crush on you. So it looks really sweet from that perspective, but obviously is trying to make clear the point that people are still trying to carry on human lives when they are totally blindsided by history. And also stars Nadine Labaki, by the way, who was Oscar nominee last year for Capernaum, which is a similar kind of story, but you should watch that too. 1982, there isn't a date for in South Africa as of yet, but with festivals, hopefully we get some sort of like foreign movie festival, which we usually do. They'll showcase, like I said, some of these international offerings, which look really fantastic. But by the way, South Africa's this tour bus that we put up for submission. I'll probably talk about that again a bit later, but right now, 1982, like I said, this movie of just kiddie, like tiny little romance, and that's all under the zeitgeist of a larger conflict that is totally going to derail normal life. And this is interesting because a lot of movies often show in the midst of war. Like, these characters are the war-torn, but people have to be torn from their regular circumstance.
And it's also, if you look at it's you know, the fact that with children, your natural instinct as a grown-up is you want to protect them, and is to see it from their view and the innocence that a child brings to a situation like that.
You sound like you're still hooked on the documentary we spoke about. So this stuff, I mean, totally relevant as well to what you're seeing here. You're correct. Nadine Labaki, by the way, just to quickly mention that, she's this fantastic actress who plays the teacher in that situation. And apparently back then there were teachers in those situations who had to now evacuate kids who are instantly refugees.
Sure.
And each of those teachers had different ideas of whose politics were correct and who was right and who was wrong. And no one has a sort of a map about how to implement this change in daily life. So it's, like you said, this need to care for them, but also being totally lost that the movie tries to bear down. Striking visuals, looks really beautiful in that sense too. But
okay. Well, let's quickly go on to our next movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. Very interesting.
Yeah, so the words, they are actually from the FBI. It was J. Edgar Hoover, who was obviously the big man of the FBI and the founding father, in a way, of the FBI as we know today, who wanted to subvert the arising of a so-called Black Messiah, whether Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, and in this case, Fred Hampton, who is played by Daniel Kaluuya, who we remember from Get Out, obviously.
Yes.
And Lakeith Stanfield, who we might remember from Get Out. He was the dude in the Trilby with the bleeding nose of the camera part. You remember? Okay, maybe you don't.
I don't remember that. I just remember the tear coming down the eye.
Oh, yes, no, that's exactly the guy. You're right. So he's in this too. So Fred Hampton is played by Daniel Kaluuya. Fred Hampton was a remarkable human being, and he was assassinated by the FBI. In fact, I read an article last night by the defense attorneys of the Black Panthers for the killing that this is about, who said that new information has come to light last night.
Wow.
That J. Edgar Hoover was directly involved in the murder of a great black hero in United States history. So that's Martin Sheen, by the way, who plays J. Edgar Hoover. Martin Sheen, who, by the way, has been arrested more than any celebrity in history. And for his activism.
Okay.
Has in the past chained himself to the White House for his anti-war movements and for his civil rights activism as well. What a great guy.
And this is going to be one of those movies that's going to be uplifting. You're going to feel energized, I'm assuming, just based on the trailer.
Yeah, well, you can tell from the pace of the thing already.
Yes.
Obviously, the force of the acting, I don't need to tell you about Lakeith Stanfield. It was amazing, even in that tiny part in Get Out. He's great in Sorry to Bother W2. Daniel Kaluuya has proven himself over and over. He doesn't need me to say anything about him. But Judas and the Black Messiah it looks like it's more importantly going to make us ask new questions about power, especially in the light of stuff like Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Where programs like the FBI's COINTELPRO, which this movie is about, and about forming these anti-democratic betrayals within these organizations is actually re-emerging in the public eye. So definite Oscar contender and definitely worth consideration in light of present events.
Well, interesting things regarding the new movie trailers that have been released. JP Sebastian, thank you for showing it to us. And of course, we're looking forward to having you back a little bit later in the week to talk movies releasing this weekend.
Listen, it is so tense right now in the lounge, okay? But we're going to catch our breath a little bit. We are still hanging out with actress Shonisani Masutha. Earlier on, she led us into her life as an actress and her business venture, Shonisani Braids. But right now, Shonisani, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
We are about to have fun with you. What are some of the games you enjoy playing?
I am a game fanatic, okay?
Oh,
so
wow.
I love Monopoly, I love Cluedo, I love Jenga, I love Scrabble, I love 30 Seconds, obviously. I love... Are we just talking board games? Because I could go on.
No, let's keep it there at 30 seconds. Well, we've answered your call. We have a 30 seconds board here, and I've invited the guys to join us, Graham and Carl Wasty. We are going to be going head to head, okay? My teammate for this 30 seconds round is Graham Richards. Woo!
Yeah! Yeah! Come on.
And your Shonisani, meet Carl. Carl, meet Shonisani.
Hi.
You guys are going to be each other's teammates. We're going to break the rules a little bit. So as we know, 30 seconds is about trying to guess the words on the card without mentioning any of the words written on the card, okay? Usually you would roll a dice, but then we're just going to let that slide.
We don't have the time, but we want to get a taste of it. Shonisani, you seem like the sweetest person alive, so I'm so sorry that Kutle and I are going to crush you. We're going to crush you
I'm sorry.
right now.
Do not worry, Shonisani. I got your back. We are here. We may be electronically connected, but there's going to be something beautiful. All right?
Yeah.
We're going to do this.
We're going to start.
We'll start just to get the ball rolling. Should I be the question asker?
Please,
okay,
please.
So
Okay, just a heads up to everyone in the world.
My time
I am terrible when it comes to 30 seconds, but let's go for it, G.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Can I have time?
Go
for it.
Go.
Okay, where Jewish people come from, their homeland. The country where it is, the country where that exists. We move on to, there we go. We move on to a famous coffee shop here in South Africa. 2 words, where they serve really big muffins.
Oh, Mac and Bean.
It's a wrestling organization in America.
WWE.
It's a movie with vampires in it.
Twilight.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. The first one put me off.
Yeah, but you got it. You got there.
I gave some extra seconds.
That was good, man. You were good.
Thank
you were
you
actually
very
really
much.
good there. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Well done, guys.
So we are ready for danger. We're going to move 3 times.
1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay.
Okay, cool, Carl.
Okay.
And Shonisani, are you guys ready? Shonisani's over there.
Did that make you really nervous now? Okay, good. Okay.
Shonisani, are you ready?
I'll be your timekeeper.
Carl?
You grab your...
You're good to go. Okay, cool. Let me grab my card first. Hey? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, ready.
Okay, cool. As you can hear, there's a little delay, okay?
So we are going to give you a few extra seconds.
I'll give you an extra 3 seconds.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go for it.
Let's go. How can they help you? It is a financial institution.
FNB.
In full.
First National Bank.
Famous footballer plays for Juventus.
What?
Portuguese footballer.
I don't...
See.
Messi? No, I don't know.
Zoe says I should say hot footballer. It's number 7.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Thank you. That worked. Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts were in this romantic movie set in England. Just the guy. Ask her to answer. She got that right.
We'll give you that
I
one.
got Notting Hill.
Did she get Notting Hill?
Definitely.
You got
Okay,
it.
that's
we'll
fine.
give that
That's
to you.
fine. We'll give it to
Because
you.
of the electronic delay,
Yes, there was
we'll
a
give that
delay.
to you. Oh, I'm liking this.
It's fine.
Neck and neck.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, this is the final one. This is the
is it.
decider, okay?
right.
G, let's go quickly.
One mind. We share one
Ooh,
mind.
the first of the 4th month.
1st of April.
Yes, what is it?
April 1st. April Fools.
Yes. It's the capital of Namibia and the alcoholic beverage.
Windhoek.
The
Windhoek beer.
another one.
Another one. Okay, keep going, keep going.
Okay, cool. Fa, sol, la, ti, do. The first 3.
Do, re, mi.
Yes. Not east, but
West.
Okay, we got 3. It's fine.
Side
Okay,
story. Westlife.
Cool. Westlife. Okay, Shonisani, we're gonna give you a quick 30 seconds to redeem yourselves
Let's
with
do
Carl.
this.
Are you ready?
Woo! Let's do this.
Nice one, girl. We there.
Okay, what color are we on?
You are on
Blue.
yellow.
Are we in yellow?
Yeah,
We are
you're
in
on
yellow.
yellow. You're on yellow.
Don't like that side.
Quickly.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, he steals from the rich and gives to the poor.
Robin Hood.
Yes, okay. They eat it for Thanksgiving. The
Turkey.
chicken bun.
Turkey.
Yes, okay, cool. Opposite of a queen.
King.
And then he's in the Bible. Like,
James.
no, okay, no, moving
David.
on.
King David.
Jesus, he did the fast for how many nights? And how many? Jesus, the fast, Lent.
What?
Keep going, keep going.
Keep going. One more.
Shonisani has been absolutely
40 days and
fantastic.
40 nights.
Listen, we will continue our little game a little later on, okay? Thank you so much for joining us in your Feel Good Breakfast show. You are fantastic. We have enjoyed you having... I can't even speak because I'm so excited we just won the board game.
You know what, Shonisani? Don't forget that people were prompting them and you and I couldn't have that same
wow.
thing, so it's not an issue
Wow.
now. But we will get them later, okay?
That's also true. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for having me. I had so much fun. And for everyone who wants to join the Shonisani Braid Gang, you can go to afrostore.co.za and it comes straight to your house. So you don't have to wait in line at a store. And stay home, stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And let us know on our social media how you think all of this went. Thank you guys for being such champs. G, Bluetooth high five.
Oh, you can make my day.
time for just one more round. Carl, are you ready?
Yes,
go for it, buddy. Go
Okay,
for
fine. The time in the morning, that is after 7:59.
8 a.m.
Yes, perfect. Okay, and then it's a program about information about the world happenings.
News, current affairs.
Yes, and then there's somebody who's a famous TV and radio presenter. Her surname is a color.
I want to say Brown.
Zoe Brown.
8 a.m. news with Zoe Brown.
All in 30 seconds, bringing us just in time for your national headlines. I'm going to start with local news. Draft directives by the Department of Basic Education for the reopening of schools state that all primary school learners can return from February 15, provided that health and safety measures are followed. This is a drastic change from last year when schools followed a rotational timetable that allowed only certain grades to attend class on certain days. Secondary schools, however, must still stagger their classes. School management teams, including education assistants, general assistants, and non-teaching staff, have to report for duty on January 25th. And President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday announced the establishment of an inter-ministerial committee which will be in charge of the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccines. The committee will be led by Deputy President David Mabuza. Ramaphosa said that while there was no money to put in relief measures for those hard hit by restrictions implemented to curb the spread of the pandemic, there would be sufficient to acquire the vaccines. The plan will see SA seeking to vaccinate at least 40 million people over the next 12 months. We now move beyond our own borders, where Rwanda's capital, Kigali, was back under total lockdown yesterday after a surge in COVID-19 cases in a country that has adopted some of Africa's toughest anti-COVID measures. President Paul Kagame's government imposed one of Africa's first total shutdowns in March and has maintained an evening curfew, changing the times and imposing curbs on transport as its outbreak fluctuated. The country of 12 million people has had around 11,500 cases of the virus and almost 150 deaths since the start of the outbreak. Moving to news in the US, Washington, D.C. prepares for the inauguration of Joe Biden as president of the US later today. Flags will represent crowds who will not be able to attend due to the pandemic. Biden will take office at 9 p.m. South African time tonight. Security is intense in Washington ahead of the ceremony. Thousands of National Guard reserve soldiers have been deployed in the wake of the storming of the Capitol building on the 6th of January that left 5 people dead. Trump is the 4th U.S. president in history to boycott his successor's inauguration. And now news of today's inaugurational ceremony of the 46th U.S. president. All eyes and the entire world will be at Washington, D.C. later today for the official changing of the guard in what is said to be the greatest democracy on earth when Joe Biden takes over the reins of United States as president from Donald Trump. Mega stars from the world of entertainment will be on hand to add luster to the occasion. Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez are to perform at the inauguration ceremony. Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem and Lopez will give a separate musical performance. After the ceremony, Tom Hanks will host a star-studded televised special titled Celebrating America. The 90-minute primetime program will also feature U.S. musicians John Bon Jovi, Demi Lovato, Justin Timberlake and Ant Clements. When Donald Trump was sworn in 4 years ago, 16-year-old former American Idol contestant Jackie Evancho sang the national anthem. Barack Obama called on Beyonce to deliver the anthem when he was sworn into his 2nd term. And 4 years earlier, the Star-Spangled Banner was performed by the U.S. Navy band Sea Chanters, and Aretha Franklin sang My Country 'Tis of Thee. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines for today. Let's take one final look at your sport.
Thanks so much. So let's kick it off with cricketing news locally. First Cricket South Africa yesterday announced that batsman and wicketkeeper Heinrich Klaasen will captain the Proteas in their 3 T20 matches in their international series in Pakistan next month. The 3 matches will be played in Lahore on the 11th, 13th and 14th of February. South Africa will first start their test match series, and a momentous one at that, against hosts Pakistan on Tuesday the 26th of January, so just around the corner. On to footballing action from last night. Premier Soccer League football continued last night with defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns and Bloemfontein Celtic playing out to a goalless draw at the Lucas Maripe Stadium. Brazilians do, however, remain at the top of the league, but they are just 1 point above second place Swallows. FC are in action later today. In other results, Kaizer Chiefs still looking good, beat Chakuma Cha Mativandila 3-0 at the FNB Stadium in Soweto. This was a third straight win for the Amakosi in the PSL. There'll be 6 Premier Soccer League fixtures to look out for tonight, kick-starting at 5 p.m. And then just proving how interesting it's getting at the top of the table in the Premier League. Leicester City beat Chelsea 2-0 at the King Power Stadium to top the English Premier League standings. Goals by Wilfred Ndidi and James Maddison securing the win for the Foxes. In other results, a goal by the recently returned Miguel Antonio helping West Ham to a 2-1 home win over West Bromwich Albion, and that at the London Stadium, of course, last night. And then looking forward to tonight's fixtures on the charge. Third placed Manchester City, they'll be facing Aston Villa at 8 p.m. And then Manchester United, who now sits second on the log, will have the opportunity to go back on top again. That's when they take on Scott Parker's Fulham at 10:15 tonight. That's a wrap of your sport for this morning. We do have a chance now to take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
And I love sunrise pictures. Now let's start it off. Let's take a look at those. And you have pulled through for me when it comes to sunrise pictures. And I want to point you out. Anthea Kruger, thanks for sharing this picturesque image of the mountains in Worcester. Just to let you know, it's going to be hot for you in that area today. Make sure you have your SPF handy if you're going to be out in the sun. Verity Barnes Herbert, thank you very much. You got creative with this one, showing us a part of the world in Riebeek West. It is going to be a scorcher, hitting a high of 38 degrees with plenty of sunshine. And caution is advised if you are spending extended periods of time outside. Nombolelo Zandila Gama from Soweto sent through this fresh morning image. A mostly sunny day is headed your way with a maximum of 30 degrees. Last but not least, Tandek Mgoza posted this beautiful photo of the sun rising over the mountains in Impendle, KwaZulu-Natal. A mild day with a maximum of 21 degrees is headed your way. And if you'd like to be part of our sunrise contributions, please do head on to our Facebook page, that's Expresso, and share a picture of your part of the country, please. So I don't often do political climates, but I'm going to do one anyway. Joe Biden will be sworn in as 46th President of the United States on the west front of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C., alongside Vice President-elect Kamala Harris at 7 p.m. That'll be SA time today. And AccuWeather forecasters say this historical event will experience good weather. This considering ceremony is being held outdoors in the middle of January in the Northern Hemisphere. President Biden's term begins officially at noon, and dry conditions are likely to remain in place, while the mercury will show a reading of 4 degrees Celsius with a brisk wind contributing to temperatures near freezing. The normal high temperature for January 20 in the DC area is around 4.5 degrees Celsius. So actual air temperatures will be very close to normal levels for today's event. Maybe it's a sign. Moving on to some temperatures in your country. Let's start you. Polokwane, 19 your low to a high of 30 today. Moving on to Bombela, a maximum of 30 degrees from a low of 18 this morning. 16 to 32 in Pretoria. Johannesburg, 30 is your high from a low of 15. Mahikeng, 20 to a high of 33. 33 also the maximum in Klerksdorp from a low of 18 this morning. 22 to 34 in Kimberley. Bloemfontein, you have a 69% of thunder showers, 40% chance, and 31 degrees your high today. Richards Bay, you have a 69% chance of rain. 27 your high from a low of 20. Pietermaritzburg, 17 to 26 today. Durban, 22 to a high of 27. Mthatha, you are a low of 15 to a high of 23 today, just to let you know. And then East London, 19 to 23. Craddock, you are 14 this morning to a high of 32. A 66% chance of rain. In Port Elizabeth, 18 to 24 your temperatures. George Hoyamora, 23 your high from a low of 15. The Mother City, 28 degrees today from a low of 17. And of course, Worcester, 15 to 36. Sutherland, 15 to 31. And then the temperature that wins today, congratulations to Uppington. You are the winner with a high of 38 degrees today. We're talking making eggs on bonnets today. But do be safe in your area, keep hydrated, and keep the sunscreen handy. That is a wrap of your weather right here on Expresso.
Thanks so much, Carl. Now let's focus on an amazing story really playing out here in our country. We can all use an upliftment of spirits during these unprecedented times, more so for those whose loved ones are currently battling the COVID-19 virus at home or in hospital, in ICU, as many are. Now, since last year, various religious groups, Christians and Muslims, have been coming together online and outside hospitals to pray for COVID-19 patients and their families. These gatherings have been led by Hassan Yusuf Pandi, the CEO of the Al-Jim Foundation, and he now joins us more to tell us a little bit more about this and to lift our spirits this morning. So great to be connecting with you, my friend. A very good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to your viewers and to the beautiful people of South Africa and the world, Graham.
We see you popping up a lot in the news. We've reported on what you've been doing a couple of times. In fact, you've been going not only to hospitals, but also to rehab centers, to old age homes as well. How did this concept come about? Where did it all begin?
Well, Graham, since the lockdown, we felt that there's something more than just having to sit at home and get a glance at what's happening. We then wanted to connect with those who were unable to connect with their kids. And that was, guys, it was out in the Boerland, that was in rehabilitation centers, making their parents connect to them via the virtual platforms, making them see how we connect in prayer and in supplications with these beautiful children of ours, since the mothers couldn't see their kids for something like 4 to 5 months in the hard lockdown in the stage, in the first curfew.
We can only imagine what just that one moment would mean to people on both sides of that fence. Something that really interests me, the embracing of other religions, other viewpoints. Was that ever a problem in these gatherings? How did you navigate those waters that can be very politicized in this day and age and quite tricky? How did that process play out?
Well, thanks to God. I mean, we connected in this pandemic that the world faces, and us as a civilization, as a nation of the people of the South, we saw the need for us to cross borders and reach out, because the challenge was one. We in one globe, we believe in one God, we come from one God, we're going to one God. It's time that we share the spirit of soul living in this earthly journey of ours. And that is how we connected our souls with the people of the South. And wow, we come from mothers, we come through our mothers. It's the God-given right that we should find the connection, and always strong, between mothers and their offspring. So this actually unified us in the worldview that we are here as a one human fraternity, seeking to find a spiritual connection as where we come from and where we're going to. It's all about feeling the presence of another soul in this worldly, in this earthly journey.
We really have become a global village through this process. I think the whole world has shared that experience. People can now join in online to take part in these wonderful prayer sessions, which have now been viewed over 50,000 times. Where and how can they do that?
Yeah, thanks, Graham. We are available on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook, as well as YouTube, at aljim.com and at Al-Jim Foundation. So that's our handle, Al-Jim SA, because we are the people of the South.
You are representing the people of the South so well. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for lifting our spirits. And of those of you who are in the midst of that very battle in hospitals, at home, trying to survive this virus and the knock-on effect of lockdown, I think this means a huge amount. It's a shared suffering, but I think it's going to bring us together in a way that we never expected, that you are highlighting right now. So thank you so much for what you and everyone who has joined these prayer meetings is doing. And stay safe, my friend, and continue doing this good work.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much, Graham, and to the viewers of South Africa.
Just another beautiful lesson learned over this crazy, this unprecedented time. Yes, we are also seeing that this can bring out the very best in humanity. That is just one example.
So let's continue with celebrating spirituality, and we have Sasha Lee Davids, who's still here. She has a live stream coming up on the 27th of Feb, so do go get yourself tickets on Quicket. But for now, she's got a very, very special song that really plays so beautifully to what Graham was chatting about, and this song is a gospel hit. In 1999, Mercy Me, one of those Christian gospel groups, brought it together, and it was one of their greatest. And I think that with Sasha Lee Davids covering this song, it's going to have that extra power. So do enjoy right here on Expresso at Sasha Lee Davids and a song called I Can Only Imagine.
What it would be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Oh, surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Ooh, I can only imagine when all I would do is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine.
Yes, 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 yes. Amen. That was absolutely absolutely beautiful. Sashali Davis will be on a laptop or a TV near you on the 27th of Feb for a live stream, the very first. Go get your tickets at Cricket. Also, will be on your screen later on Expresso, plus the culinary hotline bling with Chef Clem. Ting, ting, ting. It's up very, very soon.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Here we go, the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting.
I was slightly off.
No, you were fine. Don't worry about it. You're always on point when it comes to these types of things. And I must just say that, you know, sometimes you need someone to call. You know, with ghosts, Ghostbusters, when it comes to the culinary hotline bling, Chef Clem. It's the same thing. You are synonymous, which is important. And I mean, this is an installment where you're going to get exactly what you need, and we are making sure that Chef Clem is going to be put hard to work with regard to all of his knowledge in the kitchen. So if you do have any inquiries, you can please just give us a quick message there. And now here's the thing. So we have a few very twisty types of questions for you today. Don't forget to call us on 021 110 5552 if you have any emergency, that Chef Clem, the culinary ambulance, will come along and help you. I like that. Yes. Now, Offense is first. Now, Offense from Soweto wanted to ask you something. I tried to call earlier, and Offense just, left me on blue ticks, but it's okay. But at least you got the question. The question is, how do you work with puff pastry? Hers is always, comes out very, very raw. What do you think?
So I like this question because people get it a little wrong, okay? Yes. Puff pastry is essentially layers of butter and dough. And what happens is when you bake it, the butter expands, releases steam, which expands, and then pushes up the pastry, and you get those beautiful layers. Yeah. Okay. Here's what people do. They take it out the freezer. Yes. And then it's hard. Okay, what do you think they do now? Because it's like when your mom said take out the chicken, but you forgot to take out the chicken, she comes home and it's raw. Yes. Okay,
so you need a hack. So usually you pop it into the microwave.
And that's where you go wrong.
You're like, let's go quickly, microwave, teet, 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 teet. And then it's like, oh, sorry, Mom, it took a little longer than expected.
Yeah, so when it goes into the microwave, you end up melting the butter. And then you don't get that poof, that rise, that steam, right? So everything becomes very thick and dense, and then it's just not puff pastry anymore. It's just not puff pastry.
It's not puff like.
So here's the thing. We all know in life, butter melts very quickly. So take it out the freezer and give it half an hour to relax. All right. Okay? And in that half an hour, it will become like soft and malleable.
I like that word so much, malleable.
Malleable. Oh, yes. Okay. So that's all you got to do. And then it becomes nice and soft. You can kind of HD guys at home there, you can kind of see the bits of butter in there already. Yes. That's what you need to keep. Okay? So keep it chilled. We work with chilled dough in general, puff pastry in general, you're going to be fine.
Chilled dough.
So, all you have to do, take it out the freezer, about half an hour is good, maybe 45 minutes, and let it come to temperature on its own. Don't do anything. Don't put a hot cloth over it. Don't put it in the microwave. Don't put it in the oven. Don't run hot water over it. Let it just chill. And then all you have to do is try not to roll out your dough too much. Okay. Because again, we're trying to keep those layers of butter and pastry. So I kind of don't ever really roll out my puff pastry. Yes. I try and keep it in this thickness already. That way, you've got all the beautiful layers. You're not disturbing it. When it cooks at a high temperature, and it needs to be a high temperature, 200 degrees. This is the one time the rule 180 for safety doesn't apply. You want that nice punch of hot heat, that's going to cause your butter to just poof, and you get the puff.
Ah, I see. So you said poof now, so why is it not called poof pastry?
I'm changing that.
Okay, cool.
I've sent the email.
Fantastic.
Poof pastry.
To the creators, yes. Apparently, there's a poofologist who actually created this back in the day, which is great. So, great advice, though, because I would have popped it into the microwave. That would have been my thing. It would have been like that.
Don't do it. By the way, you can actually experiment and try and cook some puff pastry in the microwave. It does give you a bit of a result. You might not get that serious brown, but you'll get that poof. You'll get the poof.
Oh, my word.
And also, poof, P-U-F-F is the same as puff. It's all about the pronunciation. Poof pastry.
Poof pastry, you say? Okay, that's fine. Don't forget to give us a call on 021-110-555-2 if you have any culinary hotline bling, ding, 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 questions that you'd like to go. And the thing is, we also got another one. So, Rafilo from Western Cape.
Yes.
This is the message that I got. I have lots of eggs, and can you please share a recipe using eggs besides the omelette and the scrambled egg? It gets a bit boring sometimes. I want to make my mom a breakfast. So, Rafilo would like to just get a little idea from you. What do you think?
That's very sweet. First of all,
yes,
making a mom a breakfast. Everybody out there, commit to making someone a breakfast. Your neighbor, anyone, anybody.
I agree with you.
Anybody.
Because, you know, especially with eggs, though, some people are ayavais and they don't want to be told, but now chef can tell you.
I'm gonna tell you. So let's use the puff pastry now.
Okay, cool.
So very, very simple dish, and I love this one because making these little puff pastry shells. It's got a French name, and I can't even pronounce it myself.
Do it. Just try it.
Vol au vent. Vol au vent. Vol au vent.
Vol au vent.
But it's this guy over here. And it is a puff pastry. Can you hold this up?
I would love to.
It's a little puff pastry shell. And what you can do with that now is you can now put various things inside there. And today, for you, we're going to actually make a little egg in a nest type vibe for breakfast. It's absolutely delicious, and it's very easy to make. Are you looking at those layers?
It is. You know, I'm actually, I'm assessing the layers. It's very delicate as well.
It's very delicate, yes.
Yeah, and it looks like a good receptacle for some good filling as well.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're going to do now.
Okay.
So, I've got my cookie cutter over here. Let me just check out the sizes. Okay, cool. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out one large. I'm just going to do one.
Quick one. If you don't have a cookie cutter, can you use a glass?
You can use a glass with a sharp knife on the outside, kind of just trace it out there.
Okay.
Absolutely. I always say there should be a hack for everything in your kitchen. You don't need to go and buy something. Just be like a little smart and check it out, and you'll be fine.
We didn't have money to buy anything anyway.
No.
Yeah.
January.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like in March we're going to talk about some kitchen essentials, things you can invest in now, and it'll last you for a life. March. Okay, and this tin. The good thing about puff pastry is got butter in. You actually don't need to spray your baking tins. But in saying that, I don't want you calling me and then saying last week you said I don't have to, and then it sticks da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
So just for safety, just give it a light spray. But there's enough butter in there to help you. So now we've got this first little. That's our base. Okay.
Okay.
Now what I want you to do. Let's see. I'm going to ask you to help me out.
I would like to help you out. I've been waiting. I'm ready, sanitized and good to go.
There we go. I don't want the center of this to rise. Obviously, that's where we're going to add my filling. I'm going to add my egg. I'm going to add the things in there. I want that section to stay low.
Yes. So you'd give it a jab.
You're going to give it a few jabs. Just in the center. Just in the center. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. When you motivate me like that, it makes me a better cook.
It's all about the motivation, okay? Now, I'm going to create the rim on the outside of the puff pastry, and that's going to give me that height.
All right.
I like that shape.
Thank you. I wanted to do a nice design for you. The thing is, food is important. You have to make it look good no matter where.
Absolutely.
That's good.
So this is, now what I'm going to do is use a little bit of that egg that I've got there. Will you just brush the outside rim?
I would love to.
That's going to be the glue.
I didn't brush my hair this morning, so at least I get to brush something.
Do you use egg?
You know, sometimes, you know that egg white actually was a primitive version of hair gel back in the day.
But there's protein in there. Is that not good for your hair?
It's very good for your hair.
Okay,
you know?
guys.
I don't want to be quoted on that. I'm no hair expert. My hair just stands up. But apparently egg white was one of the things that they used back in the day. That and all sorts of different waxes like beeswax.
Okay, I'm going to grow my hair. Just to try that out.
Yes.
I'll let you know in a few weeks' time. Okay.
By the way, culinary hotline hairdresser coming soon to Expresso on SABC.
If you have any hair queries, please send it through to us, and our experts will answer all your hair-related questions.
Oh, well, that would work. But if you do have any culinary conundrums or foodie questions for Chef Clem as we bake this beautiful thing, please give us a call right now, 021 110 552. If you didn't get that, let me do it like they would say slowly on a phone. 021 110 552. I probably said too many numbers. Either way, you got it. So please give us a call on this phone, and you'll make sure that Chef Clem answers it. I'm looking forward to what that looks like afterwards. That's going to be good.
Are we done now? Do I still have time?
What do you still have time? No, of course. Rip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very quickly. Okay.
You got 30 seconds, though.
30 seconds.
Yes.
This goes to the oven to blind bake, which means
Yes.
we're going to give that first baking process. So our pastry will never be soggy. We've blind baked it. It's beautiful, crisp, delicious. All we need to add a little bit of pesto to it. And the pesto is going to give it that little saucy element, a little bit of a herby element.
So blind baking, it just has to be, you know, a little blonde.
A little
touch of
blonde.
brown. Okay.
Doesn't have to be this brown. It's just to set your pastry so it doesn't absorb any liquid that you can add in there.
Because when it's done, it's more Zoe brown.
Zoe Brown, yes. Zoe Brown, I mean, maybe go for, a Carl Brown. Zoe Brown's, guys, oh my God, in trouble now. Just a little more tanned than, wow.
Okay, so pesto down in the full.
Okay, and then we crack the egg in the top. That goes into the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. When it comes out, a little sprinkling, salt and pepper, of course.
Yes.
When it comes out, a little sprinkling of Parmesan cheese, and you're good. Top it with a few tomatoes. Your breakfast for your mom is sorted. These are delicious. You make about 6 of these, everybody's happy in the house.
And there we go. That's a great egg example as to how you can use eggs in your kitchen thanks to the culinary hotline bling. Ting, 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 ting. Make sure that you get the calls in. We're going to help you out in the next spot in the next couple of minutes. I suggest you stay right there. Can I eat that now?
No.
Okay.
Are you ready for a sizzling summer holiday in Mzansi? Your best holiday is yet to come when you book at any participating Marriott branded hotel. Redefine your holiday with a beach break, nature retreat, or a road trip adventure. With the Marriott Summer Holiday offer, you can enjoy 25% off standard hotel rates, including free breakfast if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member and 15% if you're a non-Bonvoy member. Book on Marriott.com for the best rates guaranteed.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. And to quote Nate Berkus, who once said, "Your home should tell the story of who you are and be a collection of what you love." Now, with that being said, we have just entered a brand new year, and like everything else, there are some homeware design trends that we all should know about. That's why we have Danelle Weekly, our homeware editor and designer. She's in studio this morning to unpack new trends for 2021 and how we can enter the design space this year. Danelle, welcome back.
Thanks so much.
I love these segments because there's something about decor that you can simply change a few things up and really freshen up your space.
Absolutely.
But let's focus on our living space.
Yes.
In terms of trends for 2021, what can we see this year?
So Nate can't be listening now because
Okay.
we're already going to change up his things. But the big ones for me this year, and I think that they are incredibly cheerful and they speak a lot about the year that we've just been through. The one is the color palette for the year, which is yellow. Now, don't have a heart attack.
I love yellow.
I love yellow. I feel like sometimes people think that yellow is not something they can bring into their homes, but there are small furnishings. We're starting to see lots of like buttery yellow color palettes, whether it's painting a wall yellow or pulling in some scatters or even a beautiful piece of furniture. I know.
Which is very brave if you're going to go with such a solid colour.
Completely, but it's such a cheerful colour, and I think that's sometimes what we need at this point in a long global lockdown when you've been spending so much time at home. The other thing that sort of taps into cheerfulness and feeling good about your space is this back to nature trend. So we're seeing a lot of the idea of urban jungles, so bringing in either real or faux plants into your space, whether that's by decorating side tables, pulling them into bathrooms, into kitchens, drop downs in your showers, even in terms of foliage on prints and scatter cushions, things like that. And it taps into another big trend, which is sustainability. I think, again, like, fashion has been under the cosh around sustainability and knowing the provenance of your pieces. And there's a lot of that you're going to be seeing in decor as well. People want to know where it's come from, whether it was locally produced, the sustainability journey it's been on. Lots of those things coming through for this year.
I love that. I mean, after a year of spending so much time indoors, I love that trend of bringing the outside inside, because we've been forced to stay indoors. And I think that's also leading into my next question when it comes to the functionality of your space. I live in a very small apartment, but it doesn't feel small because I feel like I've managed to furnish it in a way where it's functional.
Yeah.
So in terms of being functional for the year, what are some of the trends around that?
So I think that the home in 2021 has to be very smart. It's the first time that we've ever really gone into a year thinking we have to be able to work from here, school from here. People aren't visiting spas and salons and things like that, so you want a bathroom that kind of maybe gives you a little bit more of a luxurious experience. We're obsessed with sleep, so work from home spaces is about dividing something cleverly and finding a little nook that can be yours. And I think that's really, when they talk about sort of multifunctional homes, it doesn't have to be a big space. It's about finding little pockets of calm that you can have within that space. So putting a desk in a little corner that perhaps faces a window that you can look out on but keeps you away from the rest of the family so you can actually focus on your work. Or making sure that your bathroom is sort of stocked with quite luxurious products so you feel like a bit of a treat. It's those little things that you want to tap into.
That's going to be really important, because I know a lot of my friends that have, I mean, most of them have been working from home, and the big struggle's always, I don't want to do Zoom calls in my bedroom, or I feel like I can't separate. This is the place I'm supposed to sleep and relax, but also now this is the space I'm working. How can we, going into this new year, separate the workspace and the living space?
I think that's been a problem for lots of people over the last year. I mean, the fact is we became quite nomadic in our homes. It was like you just picked up your laptop and you could work from anywhere.
Yeah.
That's not reality after a whole year. You actually need the space. So the one thing is transforming your bedroom into a bit of a sleep shrine and not using it for work. We're obsessed with sleep.
Yes.
We're so obsessed with sleep that we have insomnia from tracking our sleep. So there's so many issues to sleep. The one thing we don't want to be doing is having blue light and a laptop in our bedroom. So keep your bedroom a shrine to sleep and make yourself a little space for a work from home. I would suggest not using your kitchen counter or your dining room table, but spending a little bit of money on a small desk and finding a little setup that works for you. And it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to take up a lot of space.
Okay, there are great options and alternatives.
Completely.
And then just lastly, before we go, someone that wants to quickly fix up their home, but they're on a budget, what are your quick top tips?
Top tips for me, I think, is looking at color. It's an easy way to change something up. So I would look at scatter cushions, pick a theme. Scatter cushions, throws, maybe a couple of prints, as you and I were talking about earlier. Even painting a wall or you get these beautiful blocks of stick-on wallpaper that can change something, which is great for renters as well, because you don't want to be messing around with your space. Little things like that, along a color theme, happy days.
There we go. Or just simply change out a picture frame and then boom, your space will feel brand new. Danielle Weekly, thank you for joining us. It's always so great to have you here every week on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, sharing all of those design tips and tricks, and hopefully you can start off your beautiful space and year on a happy note.
Thank you so much, Danielle and Zoe. Well, now it's time for my favorite part of the morning, and I'm talking about sharing a cup of coffee, which is one of our favorite things to do every morning. I think it gives us a sense of you know, bonding. It allows us to bond a little bit.
It's our thing.
You know? It's our thing. It's definitely our thing. But we want to share in the experience with you too, which is why we're giving away this incredible prize bundle worth more than 5,600 rands.
Which is valuable. It really is. We're talking about sustainability. We know that this beautiful piece of, it's retro styling, yes, absolutely beautiful bike was made with recycled capsules, which is mind-blowing. It really is beautiful. But of course, we put it to you guys how you are living more sustainably, and we want to share a couple of the brilliant, and a cup of, but a couple of the brilliant suggestions. And it seems like you guys have already had a shift in thinking. So let's kick it off with Khatle Mahlatse, who said, I started a vegetable garden practicing the 3. It's reduce, reuse, recycle. Hashtag Expresso Nespresso.
I love that. Samantha says, we bought a water tank last year which collects all our rainwater.
Nice.
We started a vegetable garden on New Year's Day and planted spring onions, tomatoes, garlic, chilies, peppers, lettuce, green beans, rosemary, thyme, parsley, and mint.
What
There's
aren't you growing?
No reason for them to step out of the house because they are self-sufficient and self-sustainable, which is something that we love to see.
I love that. Then Z and Gwenya saying this year is the year of living sustainably. I've decided to start using biodegradable products, start saving water, and basically reduce my carbon footprint, and most importantly, keep on my mask. Thank you for adding that. This is the year to wake up and smell the coffee, baby. I think she's a copywriter, possibly. Hashtag Nespresso Expresso.
I love that. Zingwenya, shout outs to you. This one comes from Shakira. She says, I'm trying to reduce our home's use of single-use plastics, recycling what I can instead of just throwing away. Like where I previously would throw away an egg carton, I now save them for absorbing excess oil from things I fry, such as samosas and spring rolls, instead of using paper towels. That's a great kitchen trick.
Yeah.
We have already changed all our old light fittings in our home to LED, which uses less energy. Hashtag Nespresso Expresso. I'm loving how our viewers invite us to their homes and share such
and so many people are doing it. I felt it unbelievably, like with lockdown, when there was like issues with refuse collection. Then I started 2 recycling kind of little stations in my home. I now have more recycling than rubbish when I throw away. And we've got a great company that comes around and collects. I've got our whole block now is involved in this, and I notice that every time I take out my garbage, there's less and less and less garbage because I'm recycling literally 2/3 of the waste from our house. And just being conscious, I've also got little kind of vegetable recycling areas and things like that. And it all started through lockdown. Simple, low cost, you can make those changes. So remember, you still stand the chance to win this amazing Nespresso bundle that consists of the Pixie Machine bundle. That's 10 sleeves of coffee. That's great. Origin mugs, which are awesome. Apron and a special edition Carandash pen, which is great. That's worth more than 5,600 rand. Simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter page. Tell us, what are you doing differently to live more sustainably this year? And remember to include that hashtag Nespresso Expresso. Competition closes at noon on the 28th of January. So get in there, enter. You can find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
That package is worth dying for. Cheers to you.
We chose some of the world's rarest local coffee crafts and refined them to create 5 distinct new tastes. After all, we are the choices we make.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3, and welcome back to the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting!
We are joined by Chef Clem, who is always ready to go when it comes to any questions that you may have, and I do believe that somebody wants to call us. There is a caller. Yes, it's ringing finally. I'm excited. Let's check it out. Hi there, is this Cheryl from Elsie's River?
Yes, it's me speaking.
Hey, Cheryl. Welcome to the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. How can Chef Clem help you today?
Good morning to Chef Clem.
Hi.
I want to make a statement, but my steak always come out rubbery.
Okay. And are you just trying to sear your steak for like a normal steak dinner? Or are you trying to do anything else with your steak?
No, I just want to put it in a pie or like she was showing there.
I got you.
Put it
Okay,
in a
so
pan, you know?
Okay, I got you. So when you're doing steak, and I'm glad that I asked that second part, because if you're doing a normal steak dinner, right, that's when you can get the steak like your sirloin or your ribeyes or your fillet. And there the game is high heat, and you're trying to sear your steak to get that crust on the outside. The crust on the outside of your steak is the most important thing. And then you can decide whether you want it rare, medium rare, well done, however you'd like it. Completely different to when you're doing steak for a pie.
Yeah.
Here's where I don't want you to invest in your ribeyes or your sirloins or your fillets. Try going for things that are a rump, like a rump, which is slightly less expensive, or even those minute steaks. They work really well for this. And instead of going extremely high heat, here you're gonna do a slow braise, low and slow. So what I like to do is just brown my steak first, take it out the pan, slow cook my onions until the onions are nice and soft, add your bay leaves, your salt and your pepper, add a little bit of stock if you want, you don't need to, but a little bit of tomato paste, a little bit of liquid, and your spices if you want, I like doing that, and then you put your steak back in, and then on a very low heat, lid on it, keep the moisture there, slow, cook the steak until you can take a fork, 2 forks, and literally just shred it, okay? If you're gonna go too fast and your heat's too high, that's when your meat tenses up and you can end up with a rubbery steak. Low and slow helps the muscle fibers in the steak to relax and shred. And that's exactly what you need for a pepper steak pie or a steak and kidney pie or whatever pie you're gonna do. Low and slow, and don't spend so much money on the higher expensive cuts of steak. I can talk a lot.
You can, no, but I think you were very clear. And I hope that helped you, Cheryl, from Elsie's River. Chef Clem just giving you some details there. All the best for the pie.
Thank you very much, Chef Clem and Expresso team.
No problem, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank
We are
you
always here
very
for
much.
you on 021 110 552. Do we have another caller? Oh, I love this phone. I really do. Welcome to the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Call speaking. How can I help you?
Good morning, Chef Clem. Hello.
Hi. Welcome.
Good morning, Chef Clem. I'd like to know what is the best method to remove the skin from liver?
All right. I love this question because I love liver, I love kidneys, I love offal, I love it all.
Yeah.
And the part that scares the people the most is the preparation. So I'm going to talk about chicken liver. I'm going to demonstrate chicken liver, talk about lamb's liver or ox liver. What's really nice about that is that membrane on the outside of the liver is quite thick. Thick, you don't want to eat it, you don't want to chew because it's not going to break down, but also to your benefit because with that thick membrane, all you have to do is cut off one little side of the liver and then just get your finger between that membrane and then it just peels right off. And it's very important that you do take that off because you will actually, like we spoke about the braised steak, you can actually cook that till the meat just falls apart, but that membrane on the outside will never break down. It'll just tensify and it's like chewing gum. And you will just chew, chew, chew. That's the first thing, just get that membrane off. Chicken livers, very similar, but what's really nice about chicken livers, today you buy them and the skin will always be taken off. Someone's thought about it for you, so you never have to mess with that. The one thing though, if you really want to go the step further, is taking out that little tiny white membrane in the middle, because that's also slightly chewy. It's not that bad, it's not that bad. If I'm in a rush, I'll leave it. Let me just talk about the chicken liver. And these are beautifully cleaned already. Yes. What I'm talking about, the little white membrane, is that little bit that's right there, you see it? It's just slightly chewy. And again, if you're in a rush, and chicken livers for me are like absolute go-tos.
I agree.
They are like Not even 10-minute dinners, 5-minute dinners.
But
done,
it's
done, done.
polarizing. Let's be honest. Not everybody likes the afal. Not everybody likes the liver type of thing. But I do have a little anecdotal story about how you can get people to eat liver.
Please tell me.
Sometimes when you have a charcuterie board at your place,
yes,
and someone's like, I don't like chicken livers. You know, there's a chicken liver pate that you can get, and you just leave it there. You just have to leave it on there. And the person who swore off chicken livers to me dipped the cracker in the chicken liver pate. He's like, ooh, this is lekker. What's this?
Exactly.
And I was like, ha! You want to live life with liver. I say.
Live life with liver.
You're welcome.
I like it.
I'm
okay.
weak.
And again, that's a little white memory that comes out.
Yes.
Quick. I like that. I also believe people don't like offal in general because it's not been prepared properly.
Agreed.
Or like when they have, okay, one of my favorite dishes in the entire world, tripe and trotters.
Oh,
but
yes.
You know what? It puts people off because of the smell or whatever. And this is just a little, I'm throwing that out, a little extra tip. When you cook tripe, I suggest you always soak your tripe and then soak it in a bowl of cold water with onion slices and bay leaves. There will be no smell. There will be no smell and you'll be perfectly good to go. And I love it. I love it.
I love it, but it has to be cooked correctly because, you know, you do get that fine line between that rubbery and also the one that's quite unctuous and beautiful to eat. So, but as you know, afal is going to be polarizing, but I think the preparation is important. I know that there are many people. So why do people sometimes, they'll soak it in dairy?
Because what that does is because it's an organ. Its job is to filter out things in the blood.
Okay.
Right? So what the milk does is it draws out all those impurities. And that very metallic flavor.
Yes.
So that it becomes more palatable that way.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
well, there's a hack
absolutely.
for you right there from Chef Clem. Do
you want to cook these?
I would like to cook these, please.
Okay.
Let's
so
go.
this is the easiest, almost embarrassingly easy chicken peri-peri, okay? So in here I've got some butter, and this is where I say again, there's certain things in 2021 we're not counting. We're not counting how much garlic you put in food. We're not counting how much butter you use. We're not counting how much chocolate you use. You're allowed to just go horse. Okay, butter works really well in this case because it actually helps emulsify the peri-peri sauce and helps brown the chicken livers.
And can we just mention that if you drop the butter straight into a pan, it's probably going to burn. That's why you need to add some
little bit of oil
touch there just to make sure.
So what you want to do is get the butter to where you can just smell it, not too brown. The livers go in.
And I love that sound. That sound, I want
That's the sound.
ringtone. That's the ringtone sound right there.
That is ringtone sound.
Oh, I love it.
Can you smell the butter?
I can smell the butter, and you know that's the beautiful thing about using butter in food, like on the nose, and then that smoothness that it brings to food as well. Oh.
Absolutely. So the reason I put the lid on.
Yes.
Okay, there's a little bit of moisture on the chicken livers. You can pat them dry, but it's still going to be there. It's in the chicken liver. Oil and water, they don't mix. So when you add something to your pot and it really starts bubbling and even bubbles over, it's because whatever you added to the pot is carrying moisture. That's why you try and pat things down a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, chicken livers, they tend to pop. Okay?
Yes.
Especially because we're going with a nice high heat. Chicken livers, you never want to go on a very, very slow heat unless you're going to use them for a pie or something. I'm hearing it pop, and that's what I want right now.
I like that. The fact that, I mean, the thing is, you cook with, taste, smell, and sound. But you know what? While this goes, that's actually all we have time for at the moment. Thanks a lot for your questions. We're going to continue cooking that. If you want the recipe, you know where to go, expressoshow.com. But that's all we got. Remember, keep on sending in those queries for the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. While that pops for you, 021-110-5552. And let's get things going with Chef Clem right here in Expresso. We got your back in the kitchen. I can't wait to taste this.
That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so good. More deliciousness on Expresso. And make sure you go to the website to get that recipe, expressoshow.com. Thanks, Chef Clem.
Anytime.
I'm going to call you
Can I give them your cell phone number?
You may.
Call.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much to singer-songwriter and good friend of our show now, of course, Sasha Lee Davids, for joining us this morning, having a little bit of fun and, of course, treating us to some amazing performances. Now, I want you to make sure that you get your tickets to her first ever live-streamed performance taking place on the 27th of February, and you can go to quicket.co.za to book your tickets now. Go and do it. Support local, baby. Now, it's the middle of the week, and what better way to get through the rest of the week than with a little bit of dancing. Sasha Lee is, in fact, much better when she is dancing. She has said it, and that is why she has chosen to cover this American singer-songwriter Meghan Trainor's Better When I'm Dancing. To round us off, grab your dancing shoes, and let's end off the show with some fun on this beautiful Wednesday. Sasha Lee, it's all yours, baby.
Don't think about it, just move your body. Listen to the music, sing oh, eh, oh. Just move those left feet, go and get crazy. Anyone can do it, sing oh, eh, oh. Show the world you've got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the room what you can do, prove to them you've got the moves. I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. And we can do this together. Bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, yeah. Ba 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 ba. La 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 da da. La 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 da 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 da. When you finally let go and you say that so low, 'cause you listen to the music, sing oh, eh, oh. 'Cause you're confident, babe, and you make your hips sway. We know that you can do it, sing oh, eh, oh. Show the world you've got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the room what you can do, prove to them you got the moves. I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. And we can do this together. Bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, yeah. Ba 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 ba. La 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 da da. La 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. La 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 da da. La 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 da 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 da. Oh, eh, oh. Oh, eh, oh. I feel better when I'm dancing. I'm better when I'm dancing. Hey, feel better when I feel better when I'm dancing. I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah. Oh, we can do this together. Bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, I'm better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Better when I'm dancing.
Better.
That's exactly how we feel right now.
Sasha Lee, I hope we didn't put you off while we with our insane dancing. Please take a bow. You're an unbelievably talented human being. Thank you so much.
And we can't wait.
she's
We
so
can't wait
lovely.
for your live stream. I know it's your first one. It may be strange, but we will still shout Hunafle Sasha on the 27th of February. So grab your tickets and support the vocals from the locals. That'll be from Quicket.
Have you responded to a message?
I actually responded eventually.
Are you not embarrassed?
2
I'm
years
not embarrassed
later.
at all. You know what happens? Sometimes in DMs on Instagram, you get to the request section that you can't
Yeah.
see. I went to go and dig for it, and I found it.
Oh, shame.
Oh, love it, man. Thank you
Love
so
you,
much.
Sasha.
No, we really do love you. So thank you so much for blessing us with your considerable talents this morning. And of course, we've been connecting with you guys all morning, and we love that. Thank you so much.
So let's take a look at some of the YouTube
Yeah, man. So we've had people connecting with us from all over the world.
Oh,
Lisa saying, morning from Indiana, baby.
Wow.
Hope y'all had a great
Shout out to
weekend,
you.
y'all. Y'all. I love that.
Y'all,
man.
you go, y'all.
Y'all.
That's all right.
Mary Walton saying, good morning, Expresso fan from Birmingham.
We love Birmingham.
Okay,
Very good place in the
Shout out
world.
to you.
Yeah.
Do we have more comments? Oh, shout outs to you. This one comes from Evron. He says, good morning, Expresso Show, admin and the team, presenters, cameramen,
Admin
and
for
crew,
the win.
and of
Admin
course,
for the win.
Tuber family. I love that. I am so ready for the week. I represent Paro in the northern suburbs, Cape Town.
Present.
Shout outs to you.
Wherever you are in the world, we love you. Never forget it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Adios.
Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.